even know like, oh shoot, should we be original or should we be like the the original? So. You could see it in the movie, but I had a lot of fun in it though. I really did. I enjoyed it. I was looking forward to the movie. I didn't really expect the movie to be a masterpiece or nothing, so that's why I think my expectations was like right at where I thought it would be. So like me personally, I like if I would have graded, give it like a 7.5 out of 10 or something like that. But I think it's worth going to see it. If you someone that ain't really was kind of like on the fence, don't want to see it, I think you should see it because I know people that liked it way more than I did. So that's just my my thoughts on it. I think everybody did a great job. It was funny. You could tell a black director directed it. I don't even know who directed it, but I just got a feeling it was a black director. Like you could always tell, in my opinion, when a black director directs something. Like like you get more black actors involved, and then you like people be having like it'd be little hood elements involved and stuff. So you could tell when like, okay, yeah, this had to have been either a black female or male director. But
yeah, Nia DaCosta, it's a black woman.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, I could tell. But yeah, it was a solid movie. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to add to that. It's really interesting that I thought this was gonna be like one of those kind of like, that Jordan Peele flavor, which is written by him and produced by him. That Jordan Peele flavor where it's a horror movie, but it's got like, what do you call it? Like cultural commentary.
Yeah. I mean, that's sprinkled in there for sure. That's why I said like you could tell it was like a black or so, like I didn't know Jordan Peele. I know Jordan Peele produced it. I didn't know he wrote it, but that might be some of the reason why you could tell. Like you could just tell black people was involved in making it. Basically that, and that's pretty much what I mean. Like you could tell black people are the reason for this movie existing, and so it did have that feel to it. So yeah, you're right, but it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Also, this is not good because we may have lost the first 10 minutes because I was recording live, or I thought we were live streaming. However, it looks like we lost the first 10 minutes of the show because we're not live, and I have no idea how or why. That's really weird.
That's weird.
Okay.
Are we live now?
Nope, not at all. And I will just say that we'll just start the show. We'll just start the show 10 minutes in. For the people that are watching the show after the fact, or if it's a live video, I just started off the show talking about Marvel's What If and talked about the Marvel Zombies and how I was sort of mediocrely underwhelmed, and then also surprised with the Rick and Morty season 5 finale, and then we started talking about Candyman, so now you guys are caught up. But that's pretty much the first 10 minutes in a nutshell here. And in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and just keep it moving, and hopefully we'll just keep it moving and just upload the video as is. So also sorry for your audio listeners since I don't have a backup. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and kick things off with the movie news.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
I'm glad I decided to check the live and see what was going on. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to the news. And this is like the most packed news week I have ever done. Like pretty much like the extra news, some of them could have been top news. And it's been a long time because we've been having a dry spell with news.
Yeah, that's good. Then that's good. You know what I mean? The more news, the better the content.
Yes. So with that being said, the first thing here is going to be a landmark deal.
Wow.
Christopher Nolan.
What an epic just title, man.
Know, right?
God.
There we go. Christopher Nolan, after 20 years of working with Warner Brothers, has decided to up and leave, and he went to Universal.
I knew he was leaving, but wow. He went to Universal?
I knew he was upset with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's why I knew he was leaving. Like,
I didn't think he was going to leave. I didn't think he would.
Yeah, I definitely did because I don't think enough people know, like, how bad Warner Brothers screwed so many people over. Like Nolan isn't the only director that's not gonna want to work with Warner Brothers no more. I hope they realize that. Especially Denis Villeneuve, who director of Dune. Especially him. A lot of people are screwed over, and trust me, Nolan You know how I knew Nolan was gonna leave them? When he started speaking about Warner Brothers publicly. That's not who Nolan is.
Oh,
He
yeah,
don't
he's a
speak.
very private
Yeah, he
guy.
a private guy. He doesn't, you never hear any controversy from Nolan. He's a quiet guy. But when he started coming out publicly talking about how bad Warner Brothers screwed the pooch, trust me, I knew. Oh yeah, he's not coming back to Warner Brothers. You can guarantee that. So, and this is what they get for doing that bullshit.
Yeah, so there was definitely two things at play here. So there's the news that Nolan wanted to make a what do you call it? A World War II kind of movie about the creation of the atomic bomb. We'll get into that here in a second here. So let's go ahead and actually just read the story itself here. So how Universal beat other studios to land Christopher Nolan's new World War II epic. So Christopher Nolan is making his next movie at Universal, severing the director's nearly two-decade-long severing the director's nearly two-decade-long creative partnership with Warner Brothers, the company that has backed many of his biggest blockbusters. Getting to this point has involved months of courtship, clandestine meetings, big promises, and a willingness to take a creative leap with one of the boldest, but also the most demanding filmmakers in the business. It also represents a major victory for Universal as its film chief, Donna Langley, who moved aggressively to forge a relationship with the Dark Knight director after he grew dissatisfied with Warner Brothers. On Tuesday, news broke that the studio will fully finance Nolan's $100 million drama about J. Robert Oppenheimer and the creation of the atomic bomb. It also follows Oppenheimer's later decision to call for more international control of nuclear weapons and his eventual opposition to the development of the hydrogen bomb. Filming will begin in the first quarter of 2022 and will require extensive digital effects. The studio is eyeing a release in either late 2023 or 2024. Nolan's jump from Warner Brothers to one of its biggest rivals is noteworthy, but not entirely shocking. The director made no secrets of the fact that he was dismayed with Warner Brothers' decision to release its entire 2021 slate simultaneously on HBO Max, even though the one-year arrangement was motivated by the pandemic and didn't apply to his current or future movies. Still, his blistering comments. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed one night and then went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. Made it clear how diminished the strength of his ties to the studio he had long considered home. In the past 20 years, Nolan had partnered with Warner Brothers on the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Dunkirk, and most recently Tenet. Even before the HBO Max deal was set in motion and set off Nolan, his relationship with Warner Brothers had become strained, prompting chatter that he was looking to work with the new studio. Despite a long history, Nolan didn't have contractual obligations or first-look deals with Warner Brothers. That is surprising. I did not know that.
Yeah, I figured that because Nolan's just too big of a director to allow a studio to lock him down. You know what I'm saying?
You know how like Tom Cruise has like a deal with Paramount? I think that having deals with the studio is like a safety net. You know what I mean?
Not really, because the deals that, like, what a lot of people don't understand is when, like, the actor or the director, they do deals with these studios, it's deals on the studio's end, not on their end. So it's like, it's no guarantee. Like, just say he had a first look deal with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers get a chance to look at it first, but they can clearly say no to the deal if they don't want to. So it ain't like a deal where it's like, okay, we both obligated now to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just Warner Brothers, if they have these first look deals, they really decide if they want to do it or not. You see what I'm saying? So that's smart for Nolan not to have a first look deal, with them. That's very smart. Smart guy.
Okay. All right. So basically, I'm going to stop actually the article right there because that's pretty much the story that we need to know. What's really interesting is that it seems to me like this was all motivated by the fact that Nolan wanted to make sure that his movies, get a theatrical exclusivity, that he can trust that the people that he's partnering with aren't going to screw him over out of money, that kind of like the thing that happened with ScarJo. I can understand that he had assurances by the people that were courting him because what was really not mentioned or kind of sort of mentioned in this article was the fact that all of the studios were bidding for him. They were having meetings. Like
he's the number one director in the world. Yeah.
MGM. Like I think they said like there was like a
Sony.
They were all like talking to him. So I am pretty sure he got the best deal possible. That's because when you have options.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have the leverage.
Yeah.
But Oh man, where was I going with this? But yeah, oh yeah. Now I know what I was gonna say. So what's interesting is that although he chose to partner with Universal and has these assurances, Universal this same very week announced that and it's an extra news item, is that they're gonna release Halloween Kills on theaters and on Peacock at the same time.
Oh, so they pulled some hoe ass shit. Yeah. Like, golly.
Yeah, so just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Universal has a streaming service too.
Yeah.
I think it may even be worse than HBO Max, to tell you the truth.
Oh, Peacock is it is by the name alone. Like, but see that's why Nolan probably made sure he put it somewhere in his contract. It's exclusively in theaters. You know what I mean? Like, he put that somewhere in the contract. So I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah.
I mean, because if that's the case, he could have just went to Netflix. If you gonna allow, you know what I'm saying? And he refused to go. I was telling people, I don't know where he's going, but he ain't going to Netflix. I guarantee nothing. No Hulu, no Netflix, no none of these streaming services. No Nolan. Trust me. Like, the day when it's only streaming services and that's his only option, I think that's the day when Nolan's gonna retire. Like, honestly, I don't think he'll ever do a streaming service.
No, it's kind of. Well, I mean, like, I would wager that Netflix probably offered more money than Universal did.
Well, see, I think the thing is, I definitely agree with that, because Netflix seems to have unlimited money to just blow on anything, you know. But I think with Nolan, it's not just about the money. I think he really have this kind of creative way of doing things that he's accustomed to doing it, and if he has to change how he does it in any way, he's not gonna do it. It's the same with Quentin Tarantino. It's a few directors that's out there that's like, look, I'm doing the traditional way. I want it in theaters, the full run. I want it to go to Blu-ray and DVD. That's something that's probably gonna change at some point for everyone. But you got the certain directors that want the traditional way of doing things, and I don't think Netflix is never gonna be in that in the talks to be able to do something like that. But that being said, it did surprise me that Universal got Nolan. I thought it was going to go to Sony, because that's where Sony likes to, Sony also one of the people that don't have a streaming service, and also they still in the business of releasing their movies and stuff straight to theaters and things like that. I mean, and they also have a history of picking up big directors like Tarantino. When the Weinstein thing happened, Tarantino was just like him. Everybody wanted him, and he was trying to, and he went to Sony. So I just thought if he goes somewhere, it's probably going to be Sony. So for Universal, the number one rival of Warner Brothers to get him, it's like, damn, that's almost like one of them ooh moments, like, right? It's like a shot in the face, like you motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's surprising.
You know, it's actually interesting now that I think about it. Like, Netflix do be putting out movies in theaters now. Like, before. Like,
for sure. They've been doing it. Yeah.
They put movies out in theaters before they go on Netflix.
Yeah, for sure. They've been doing it. But see, here's the thing.
Like, the Leonardo Dicaprio movie is going to come out in theaters a month before it comes to
Right.
Netflix.
Yeah, that's true. But see, I think the thing with Nolan is, because they've been doing several theatrical releases. That's what I be trying to tell people.
One thing I hate about them is that they're always limited releases.
Exactly.
I would love it if it's like a
full ride release
and 90 days.
Yeah, and see, Netflix does that because they try to play both ends. Yeah. Like, okay, we want it to be shown in as a big blockbuster theatrical movie, but at the same time, we got to keep our motto for our streaming services, which keep our streaming services good. So they try to play both ends. So they give it like a limited and select theaters release. Nolan ain't having that.
Limited means there's New York and LA, and that's just for Oscars.
Yeah, I mean, and not necessarily. Like, limited, it does have, sometimes you can see, like, for instance, I seen The Irishman in theaters, you know, it had a limited release, you know, but I think LA and New York is like the bare minimum. Like, if you want to get, any consideration for the Oscars, the bare minimum, you got to have LA and New York. But a lot of time, Netflix will give you the limited releases and their show, but there'll be one showing in your city. If you miss it, it's done, that type of thing.
Like with what they did with Cinemark, where was that zombie movie that came out?
Oh, what Zack Snyder's? The Zombie Land. No, not Zombie Land.
I always keep forgetting
it too. But yeah, that movie. So I think Nolan ain't with that. He wants the full release all the way for the full runtime. And I don't know if Netflix will be willing to do that. So
yeah. That's true. So,
But yeah, well, Universal though, they did it big. They like hit
I
the
feel
jackpot.
like, you know what's kind of, yeah, I was about to say, you literally beat me too. I was like, I feel like Universal was on that come up because they
Yeah.
don't have franchises. They barely have like Jurassic Park and
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
They're
I
like-
mean, don't get me wrong; those are like 2 of the top 5 biggest
Yes.
franchises in the world. But
Right.
still, you
They're
know,
not like, I don't know how to put this. They don't have like a treasure trove.
yeah, yeah.
Like a Disney does.
Yeah, they don't have just like a resume
Yeah.
of just, yeah. So, I mean, Landon Nolan, man, that right there is what you call like
Like,
hitting the jackpot.
I think like with like when it comes to franchises, when I think of franchise, I think of Disney and I think of Warner Brothers. You know,
Yeah, they're
they
the
have
2 leaders.
Franchises
Yeah,
on franchises. On
franchises.
franchises.
Yeah, right.
So their
Yeah.
franchises have franchises.
Yeah, so yeah, getting Nolan, that's like getting another franchise.
Yes.
That's like getting, it's
Yes.
almost like getting him alone is like getting a franchise. So, and I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but the movie he's doing, I can't wait for. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's in the notes
Yeah,
at all.
it was in the. I mean, that was part of the story, and I didn't really like
Separate it?
Separate the two. It was talking about like it's called They didn't even like the name of it. It's just
I
the
don't
J.
think
Robert
they,
Oppenheimer.
yeah, I don't think they have a name for it yet. It hasn't released, but I will say that the idea of this movie is mesmerizing. Like, I utterly can't wait for this movie. You know what I mean? Like the event, like him covering like the start of the atomic bomb, like the creation of it. Like that's phenomenal. That's a perfect movie for Nolan. Like, and the reason why I love it so much, because I'm not gonna lie, Nolan is one of my favorite directors. But that being said, I feel like he's getting too he's doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
The sci-fi stuff.
Sci-fi and superhero. That's really all his movies has been for the other than Dunkirk. And it's crazy because
And even then it was sci-fi.
and the Dunkirk,
Well, I mean, like-
Dunkirk wasn't sci-fi, but that being said, Dunkirk blew me away. Like, as soon as he stepped away from doing kind of what he was used to and he did something a little different, Dunkirk might be his best movie, or his second, but one up there with his best movie.
I say sci-fi because it felt like it was shot like a sci-fi movie. Like
Yeah,
the time
but that's
thing.
just kind of his style.
time.
Any movie he do is gonna have that kind of feel to it,
Yeah.
and I don't mind that because that's who he is. But I like just to be doing Tenet, like he did Tenet, to do Inception, Interstellar, all these, and then the comic book movies. It's like I want to see him do something different. Like, he has too much talent to be doing the same thing over and over again.
One of the things that I noticed about like a theme that he seems to be like pervading his entire resume is time.
Yeah,
Like,
time. Yeah, that's
Tenet,
always.
like it was playing with time and how
Yep.
Tenet, time is going backwards.
Yep.
Interstellar, time
Yep.
is dilated.
Yep.
Inception, time is relative.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's time.
It's time.
comes
That's his main thing. Even in Dunkirk, like it was like about the time running out
Yeah.
for the beach for the
Yeah.
you know. But and I think that's just it's certain
So
things.
I want to know is how they're gonna do time. How
And
they gonna
then,
put time
yeah,
in this bitch.
I mean, they're probably gonna have some way before like they have a certain amount of time for the atomic bomb blow up.
gonna count down and
Yeah,
shit.
but and I love that about Nolan, like how he includes time as a like backwards theme and all. Yeah, I
motif or
love that
something.
because we live in time, so it's so interesting for someone so genius like Nolan to always deal with time because you look at it and you perceive it differently depending on how he does his movies, and I love that. I'm so glad he's kind of stepping away from what we're used to, like another sci-fi. And I love sci-fi movies, and I love his sci-fi movies. But at the same time, I'm ready to see how diverse he can be. You know, I want to see other things, him
You know what?
doing other stuff.
Put Christopher Nolan on a romantic comedy and see what happens.
Yeah, like and trust me, I don't want to see no romantic comedy by Nolan, but I would be happy to because I'm like, at least it ain't no sci-fi again. You know what I mean? I want to see
With
him.
a sci-fi twist. I'm just
Right,
kidding.
and the thing about this is, it feels like it's like a character study
You know what's
kind
the
of.
thing about it? Like, imagine if Passengers was directed by
Nolan. Yeah, that seemed like something he would have done, but way better. It would have been way better than that. But that's like something he would have done. So I'm just so glad this is not just the first man on the moon or some trip to the moon story or something. Like, I'm glad that it's something different. It seems like it's more character than anything, and it's gonna have some Nolan. If it's $100 million budget, trust me, it's gonna have some Nolan blockbuster feel to it. But
Yeah.
I think it's gonna deal with more with character, and I'm just excited.
All right. We'll go ahead and move it along to from DC from Warner Brothers to Disney because Shang-Chi is having a bit of a China problem here. So this story comes from Business Insider, and it explains why Marvel's Shang-Chi may not be released in China and what it means for Hollywood's future.
Didn't we talk about this? I thought we already knew that China had some kind of beef with Shang-Chi. Remember we covered that and like we didn't know why, but there was like,
Yeah.
it was
This
some
tells us why.
Oh, okay, cool.
We didn't know why, and this goes into like more of the business side of things. The article reads, Disney's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is a box office hit after opening with $94 million over the 4-day Labor Day weekend. But the movie, which is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe entry headlined by an Asian character, still doesn't have a release date in the world's largest theatrical market, China, where the foreign release must be approved by the local government. Deadline reported on Friday that a date may be out of reach after a 2017 comment made by star Simu Liu resurfaced this week on Chinese social media, in which Liu called China a third world country.
What? What the fuck?
China be going hard, man. They be digging into your fucking tweets and your Instagram.
Shit, everybody in this day and age, everything. Wait, so who said that?
Simu Liu, the Shang-Chi.
The main character? Why would he fucking,
In 2017.
But like, I just, like, what the, first of all, that's some bullshit. China's tripping over that. First of all, I gotta get that out the way. Like, China, that shit's old.
They don't like criticism.
They don't. But
don't.
And that's ridiculous because the reality is everybody is gonna get criticized. America get criticized. China gonna get criticized. Like for them to not release an entire movie that's gonna produce you a shit ton of money, and produce them money, you money, for one comment that was 5 years ago, that's utterly ridiculous. That's stupid. I like that makes no sense. I remember hearing something about China already not wanting to release this movie, so that might be just an excuse that they're saying, and they already didn't want to release it. But that's ridiculous. But I will say this: like, why would you ever say something like that? Like, I don't even there's certain things that the movie shouldn't get canceled in China for it.
Where was he in 2017? He was starting in Kim's Convenience. Was that even around?
I don't even know.
He wasn't the superstar he is now.
Right. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it has nothing to do with that, but it's just certain stuff you shouldn't say as a human being. Like as a human being, it's not right. Like for anyone to ever say, slaves deserve to be black slaves deserve to be black slaves. Like it don't matter if you were famous or not. You shouldn't say so. It's certain things that you just shouldn't say. Like it don't make any sense. That being said, as much as he shouldn't have said that dumbass shit in the first place, China is being way overly sensitive, and I hope that this can get resolved, because if they don't play an entire movie in their country just because of a comment like that, then that's just, it's so ridiculous that it's like, I don't know if Hollywood gonna have to rethink the way they can distribute their movies, because like China, like that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. You weren't here. You were off that week. We covered it, but like John Cena apologized in Mandarin to the Chinese people when he accidentally called what's that? What's that thing, that movie, that country that's in China that's not quite in China? I don't know. Tibet or something like that. I don't know if it was which one it was, but it's basically he said, "Oh, the people of this is gonna be the first country," and that's part of China, or it's not a separate country. And so it's like he got in trouble for that. Yeah. So it's that kind of stuff that it's like, it's so scary that Hollywood has to bow to China.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about this is,
now when Marvel hires actors, they have to vet them for Chinese compatibility.
Compatibility, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of movies that come out that don't even get played in China. Yeah. Like, it's so many movies, more than we could even think. Deadpool didn't get played in China. There's so many movies because they're so A, sensitive out there, but B, and the thing is, Disney gonna have to step up if they don't allow them to play Shang-Chi. Disney gotta step up and let China know y'all being too sensitive, because the thing is, if Disney, this could start becoming extortion. If they have that kind of power to say, oh no, you're not gonna play our movie. I mean, you're not gonna play your movie in our country just because anything. Well, if they have that kind of power, they're gonna start extorting. You could, and I'm not saying they're going to start doing it, but they could potentially start extorting people if they have that kind of power. Exactly. So Disney has to step up and kind of, if they don't get their movie played because of this reason, Disney gonna have to step up as a big brand and say, look, look, hey, China, y'all tripping. Put out some kind of statement more professionally than saying China, y'all tripping. But let them know that that's ridiculous, and that y'all look bad doing this, because that don't make no sense. Like, we're talking about a whole country. We're not talking about a theater or something like, oh, you can't play in this theater or a theater chain or something. No, we're talking about you can't play the movie in their whole country. Like, that's ridiculous over something someone said years ago. That's ridiculous.
And also, I just looked it up real quick. It was Taiwan. Like John Cena said.
Oh, Taiwan.
It was like Taiwan is gonna be one of the first countries to see Fast 9, and China considers Taiwan a part of China.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
and I mean, even that, like, I can understand them apologizing, but that's just a mistake. That's just someone not knowing. That's just the same way how people mistake different.
Well, Taiwanese people want to be independent of China also. It's a geopolitical thing that you don't want to touch.
Yeah, right. So, I understand them apologizing for that. I understand them getting offended for that, but that's just a mistake, and they should understand that too. So, but yeah, man, this is crazy.
So, the article continues. The movie has already faced controversy over the title character's comic book history. When he was first introduced in 1973, Shang-Chi's father was Fu Manchu, a character now considered to be a perpetuated racist Asian stereotype. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has addressed Shang-Chi's comic book history, which has been rewritten multiple times over the years. Definitively, Fu Manchu is not in the movie. Is not Shang-Chi's father, and again, is not even a Marvel character, and hasn't been for decades. Feige told Variety last month. Damn, that's some fucking crazy shit. That's some real shit. He hasn't been a Marvel character for
yeah.
Oh my god.
So like, they shouldn't even trip on that. You know what I'm saying? They corrected it, and so like, what's even the problem with that? You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna skip over to this part of here. The country's regulations have particularly impacted Disney over the past year. Mulan has faced calls from outside China for a boycott because parts of the movie were filmed in Xinjiang, where officials have been implicated in human rights violations against Muslim Uyghurs. Following the foreign criticism, China ordered a media blackout of Mulan ahead of its release in the region.
But see, that's what I mean right there. Like, that right there, that's extortion. Like, they don't, that's a form of extortion.
Yes.
Like, to just say, oh, for any little thing that you want, you could just say, oh, y'all can't play us. Like, that's a way of, and soon they're going to say, we need specific scenes shot in China just to get played in China. Yeah. Like, soon they're going to start doing that stuff.
They have been doing that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to become more regular. So, yeah, Disney going to have to step up and do something about this. They can't remain quiet.
A China release for the Disney's next Marvel movie, Eternals, is also uncertain. The movie's director, Chloe Zhao, was born in China. However, she has faced backlash from Chinese nationalists over a 2013 interview in which she said, "There are lies everywhere in China." Chinese censors blocked mentions of her Oscar win on social media earlier this year after she won Best Director. So the Chinese, basically Chinese Facebook, her name was censored, and you couldn't see her posts that had her name on it. That is like some like next level shit right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's beyond petty.
And also, I think this article says it later on, but Black Widow never released in China. So you're basically talking about three Marvel movies not coming out in China. And then on top of that, that is a lot of money just
I mean, it's the biggest market. Like, it's not like just some little market where you could say, if we do have it, cool. If we don't have them, all right, whatever. No, it's the biggest market. Like, that's the big, and it's like they know that, and that's why they're doing all this. They know, like, look, they need us. Yeah. So since they need us for any little thing, we're gonna say, y'all can't play here or whatever we want y'all to do different. Y'all got to do it, or we need y'all to censor this, or we need y'all to take this scene out, or we need y'all to have the movie only an hour long, or whatever,
or like scenes get edited out,
or listen, Disney gonna have to step up, and same as any other studio, they're gonna all have to step up, because at the end of the day, if all the movie studios step up and say we can't have this, they'll change their ways, because believe it or not, they need movies still to show out there. It ain't like they could just say, all right, American movies.
I don't even know, because I think, in my opinion, if like, let's just say all the American movie studios boycott releasing in China, that's gonna hurt their bottom line. It's gonna hurt
Who's?
the studios.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna hurt them.
But so you can't like say, oh, we're not gonna play any Disney movie over in China. Fuck y'all.
Well,
Or
listen.
you can't do that because China will be like, okay.
Well, see, here's the
Yeah.
thing. No, but see, here's the thing. This is what you don't realize. China makes money too. Like China, when movies play out there, it ain't like China just saying, all right, y'all can use our land or y'all can use our area to play our shit.
Yeah.
And just no, that's billions of dollars that if the United States said, no, we're not releasing no more movies in China, they're losing billions as well. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, the market is big. The market is the biggest market for movies, but they need each other. Like, you know, if that was the case, movies would have been stopped playing in China a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? So,
Well, China's trying to promote
and I'm not necessarily saying that studios need to boycott China. I'm not saying, look, we're not going to release her, but they need to start. They have the right and they have the fervor and some leverage to step up and all, you know, say, you know, let China, like, let public things be known about how China act and the way things need to be done. You know, they could step up and put out different, you know, statements or do what they need to do. They can't just be quiet and just say, all right, well, you know, and have meetings among themselves talking about how China doing them. No, let it be known. You don't have to be disrespectful in any ways, but let it be known what's not right and what needs to change and from a public standpoint. And I think that can, you know, really do something. And if all these studios step up, I think it could, you know, change this, because this can be a problem. It could grow to be, it's kind of a problem now, but it could grow to be a much bigger problem, you know, where next thing you know, movies are going to be have to be re-edited. You know, they could start making all kind of demands. Like I said, it could be a form of extortion.
Yes, exactly. Like what happened with like the lesbian kissing scene in Star Wars Episode 9 that was edited out.
Oh, really? I never even knew nothing about that.
Yeah, there was like a lot of stuff there. But anyways, we'll continue to keep an eye on the China situation here because we've been covering it before in the past, and I'm pretty sure there will be another controversy that will happen later on. So next up, continuing on this last story that happened was a Disney story, and these next two stories are Disney stories. So Disney is in the news right now. So this next one is about Bob Chapek, and we've been having our criticisms. I've been having my criticism, especially about Bob Chapek and his leadership at Disney.
Yeah.
And it's gotten much worse.
Wow. What?
Like,
shit, it got even worse?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, man. This clown, man.
Wall Street Journal reported essentially that Bob Chapek could have avoided the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit altogether. He could have like nipped it in the bud. He had a chance to, but he didn't. How Disney and Scarlett Johansson reached the point of no return. Disney's chief, Bob Chapek, stayed out of the dispute with the star of Black Widow, which has since exploded into Hollywood's biggest battle in decades. Creative Artists Agency, or CAA, co-chairman Brian Lord had high hopes for the annual gathering of entertainment moguls hosted in July by Allen & Co. in Sun Valley, Idaho. Like many there, he was looking to strike a deal. In the lobby of the Sun Valley Lodge, he spotted Walt Disney Co. Chief Executive Bob Chapek, the man he had hoped would make it happen. Mr. Lord had been negotiating with Disney executives about a payout to his client, Scarlett Johansson. He was seeking tens of millions of dollars for the star of Black Widow in a contract dispute regarding the film's simultaneous release in movie theaters and digital streaming. Mr. Lord told Mr. Chapek in the relaxed mountain settings that after months of fruitless back and forth between the two sides, they should come to an agreement, said people familiar with the conversation. Mr. Chapek responded with the classic Hollywood brush-off, saying, in effect, have your people call my people. Basically, he says, I don't deal with this. I have people for that, is basically what he's saying.
That's crazy.
3 weeks later, Ms. Johansson dropped a breach of contract lawsuit on Disney. As Mr. Chapek had done throughout his career in entertainment, he left talent relations to his underlings, rejecting a potential opportunity to forestall what has blown up into the most acrimonious star versus studio battle in decades. After a little more than 18 months at the helm of the world's largest entertainment company, Mr. Chapek, 61 years old, is juggling pandemic shutdowns and shifting consumer habits as the industry moves from a golden era of movie theaters to potential streaming age bonanza. So I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna skip a big chunk of this article here and go back to the story because they sort of like go do a lot of table setting that we don't need to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip. This is a really long article, by the way. Just skipping. All right, here we go. Miss Johansson had warning. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger said during a shareholder meeting in March 2019 that Marvel releases would be available on Disney Plus immediately following theaters. That prompted Miss Johansson's team to ask Disney to guarantee that Black Widow would receive a traditional big screen release, her lawsuit said. Marvel chief counsel Dave Galuzzi wrote in response that it's 100% our plan to do a typical wide release of Black Widow. Should that change, he wrote, quote, "We would need to discuss this with you and come to an understanding as the deal is based on a series of very large box office bonuses." So that is interesting that they have that in writing, that it's like, we would need to talk to you because, you know, we have your payout, your salary based on this and stuff like that. It's kind of fucked up that, number one, that, you know, she preemptively sought out assurances, number one. And number two, the head of the talent agency, like they're like the president of the CA, like the actual main guy on top of the agency, a talent agency, went up to the CEO of Disney and say, "Hey, look, my people have been talking to your people. We've been not had come to any conclusions. Things are falling apart. The communication is breaking down. You and me talk this out. Let's just have a drink at the bar. Let's smoke some cigars and let's do a handshake."
Like men.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Bob Chapek doesn't like to get his hands dirty. Apparently, he's not the guy that's like bold and like a leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is kind of fucked up. This makes me not like him even more. And I
Yeah,
already
yeah.
thought little of him going into this.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what are your thoughts on this whole
I mean,
situation?
like, see, here's the problem. Here's the main problem right here. Like, because listen, I can understand him not wanting to talk to him. I can understand Bob Chapek not wanting to talk to him right then and there, because you might not be business savvy enough to get in a room with a dude that's very business savvy and discuss something.
Yeah.
But instead of him like, okay, let's rearrange a time and a place where we could sit down and let me have my people and we could all figure this out, like in a room and figure this out, right? Like, if he did that, that would have been very understandable. Like, I don't expect this guy to go get drunk at a bar and just figure something out right then and there with a guy that's business savvy and could, you know what I'm saying, figure out a way to fuck him out of way more money. But like, to brush him off like your people meet with my people, like, that shows that A, you're an asshole. B, you're not great at handling business. C, that you don't know what you're doing overall, because really that would have been like, that is, to me, just from a common sense standpoint, us discussing this and figuring it out is a way better process to have to do it in the courts. Like, why would you rather like go through the courts? You're probably gonna lose, you know, go back and forth, deal with the humiliation of all these articles writing about you, instead of you just saying, all right, let's have a certain date, let's do it a certain date and a time, let's meet up, you bring your people, I bring my people, we come together and meet up for a business and settle this. Instead, oh no, I'm gonna brush you off like an asshole. Like, he's embarrassing himself. and the thing about it is, like, here's the thing, like, this is what people gotta understand. This is what makes this whole thing so bad, right here. It's not that they negotiated and couldn't decide on a deal and now it's going to court. No. He never attempted to negotiate with him. That's the problem. Like, cause listen, if just say they negotiate and old dude tell him like, listen, Scarlett Johansson need $100 million. Sorry, that's the negotiation. She need $100 million. I can understand him saying, look, hell no, that's too much. I'm not paying that and whatever. And they can't come to agreement. And then it goes to court. Listen, he wouldn't be wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't be wrong. But for you to not even go to try to negotiate something, right? Even, you know, because who knows, you could have negotiated them for $10 million, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't have been no big deal. But for you not to even attempt to try to figure this out like a real businessman, that's what making it so bad. Like, you're basically saying, no, fuck you, take this $20 million or whatever we paid you and just deal with it, because we're not giving you nothing else. That's what it comes off as.
So it says in the article, after the simultaneous release was announced, Miss Johansson's team made an opening bid to pay the actress $80 million, which is a calculation based on what the star would receive in a hypothetical global box office stake of $1.2 billion. And then basically it would have been $100 million because she had $20 million in base salary plus her $80 million in bonuses. So basically they're just sort of like trying to calculate what like
what it would have done.
What it normally would have done.
Yeah.
And so what happens is they were actually kind of sort of like, this article makes it seem like it's just an opening bid that we can talk. We can go down. Yeah. So he's saying, we'll start with $80 million, and if you take it, then I'll shake your hands on it. But if you want to haggle me down, I can go down to $50 million.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's like, how negotiation works. Like, a negotiation doesn't mean you come to someone, give them a price, and you say, all right, bet. Yeah. No, a negotiation, and the thing is, anybody that's smart negotiating, you start with a price that's way high because you know it's going to
get ready to go down low.
Because you know it's going to go down. You don't come with like $50 million knowing that they're going to try to talk you down to $20 million. Yeah. Start at $80 million, and then they might talk you to $50 million. That's just smart. That's being smart, but that's not at any means saying, look, hey, $80 million. Like, pay up. Come on, bro.
But what's kind of fucked up is like they were planning on letting themselves get haggled down, and they didn't even haggle.
Yeah,
like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
it's man, it's just it's ridiculous, man. This job Chapek is a clown. Like, he needs to. I don't know, man. He got to figure it out, man. Because anybody that knows me, I'm not on the bus, right? Like, I'm not on this bus just because everybody talking bad about him. I was one of the people defending him. I was like, listen, get a guy a chance. Like, many people was already
when
like.
I first brought up the first Bob Chapek story early on in the podcast, and you were going to the bathroom.
I'm like, man, get a guy a chance. He might have made a few mistakes. He's brand new. Like, but stuff like this, I can't even. It just make me look bad for even defending this clown. Like, come on, man. Golly.
I was right from the start, man.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, man. Like, but this. Let me just tell you right now that never would have happened under Bob Iger at all.
No.
Bob Iger is really good at like retaining talent and working with
talent. And here's the thing. Like, Bob Iger, is a better businessman, but it ain't even about that. He's just a better human being. Like, he wouldn't have been like as an asshole, like, let me brush y'all off. No, he would have tried to, like, let me figure this out, like, let me treat you right, let me figure this out where we could all, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't even about just the fact that he's a better businessman, but it's just the fact that he's a better man in general, and that's just...
Yeah, he's definitely, Bob Iger was that kind of guy that was really good at keeping and maintaining relationships.
Oh, and I might add real quick, Bob Iger, this is your fault because you chose this clown. Like, so I mean, like, as great as Bob Iger is, Bob Iger was great. He chose this successor. So all this shit is on, in a way, Bob Iger too, because this who you chose.
Damn. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We don't.
A lot of people don't like to talk
bad about Bob Iger.
Yeah, a lot of people like to just kind of gloss over that. We know how perfect Bob Iger is, but Bob Iger, if you know how great you are, make sure when you leave, you put someone just as great in that spot as you. Don't put just any clown in that spot, and now you start to have all these problems. It was on Bob Iger to pick a successor just as good as him, or at least try to be. But this ain't even close.
Next up here is the last Disney story on this top news. The negotiations with the Russo brothers have stalled after the Black Widow lawsuit. So the Russo brothers, they directed they worked at The Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. So they've been like on a hot streak of making the best Marvel movies. Yeah. Endgame, like, I don't know if it's like the number one most highest grossing movie or number two.
They're the best comic book directors of all time.
Yes. So the Russo brothers, they wanted to come back to Marvel and make something with them. However, the shit's not like looking good. It says the directors of Avengers Endgame are reportedly worried about how future projects might be released on Disney. Think about what happened with Pixar with Soul. You know what I mean? And Luca.
Yep.
They was not Pixar's decision. Yeah. They wanted to be theatrical.
Yeah.
So directors Joe and Anthony Russo have hit an impasse with Disney in negotiating a return to the world of Marvel movies. The Russos, who gave the studio their biggest hit movies in history with Avengers Endgame, were eyeing to return to superhero cinema, according to the Wall Street Journal, but discussions were disrupted by Scarlett Johansson's recent lawsuit against Disney. The Russos were said to be concerned about how the project would be released in the aftermath of Disney's restructured strategy owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the past year or so, the studio has released films such as Black Widow, Jungle Cruise, and Cruella simultaneously in theaters and on Disney Plus for an additional fee, while Pixar titles such as Soul and Luca weren't even given theatrical releases at all and went straight to Disney Plus. While it's unclear what project the Russo brothers would be working on, the pair have been in talks in the past about how what excites them about possibly adapting the Secret Wars story, and that it would be even bigger than the ambitious Infinity Saga, and have said that they would be considered returning to Marvel for Secret Wars. In July, Johansson made headlines for her tussle with Disney over the studio's decision to release, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I think the story is pretty much over right there, because really that's kind of what we needed to know. It's that their talks have stalled, and it's amazing that one of the highest grossing movies of all time, and it held that title for a hot minute before Avatar re-released in China, but essentially the highest grossing movie of all time, the directors are not even like sure that they want to work with you. That is insane. The biggest studio is like not even has that cachet to like, yeah, you want to come work with us. No, we don't. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to say it again. This never would have happened under Bob Iger.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Do you have anything that you wanted to?
I mean, it goes to show, like, and it's the same thing with Warner Brothers. The exact same thing would happen with Warner Brothers. You see how they lost Nolan.
Yeah.
You see how the Russo brothers, they don't want to work with him no more. Or I'm not gonna say don't want to work with him, but there's a hesitancy.
They're hesitant.
Yeah. And it goes to show how studios treat their people really does matter. Like, you can't just up and do. Yes, y'all have the say so as a studio to do whatever y'all want, but y'all can't just feel like y'all can do whatever y'all want and expect that those relationships that y'all have created to not get broken. You know, and so you see what Warner Brothers, they did something very messed up, very wrong, and because of that, they're losing relationships, valuable relationships.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing the same thing with Disney under Bob Chapek doing this ridiculous stuff. You're seeing the two best influential directors of the Marvel Cinematic Universe hesitant to work with them. And so it goes to show you can't just do ridiculous things. You have to think over everything, not just the board meeting. Think over everything. Think over your talent. Think about all of these things, because they all matter. And when you do make a decision, have the decency to talk to them and let them know what's going on and see how they feel about it. So
yeah, it almost kind of makes like Warner Brothers and Disney look short-sighted.
Yeah, they look very short-sighted. And the thing about it is, it's like these are the two most successful studios. Y'all, listen, if y'all take a loss, y'all will take that loss. It is because of the pandemic or whatever the case may be. Y'all take that loss, but y'all have billions of dollars to make in the future, right? With all these, you just said it yourself. Disney, Warner Brothers have the most franchises, right? You might take losses. That's a part of this game. Y'all took losses anyway by doing what y'all did. Y'all might as well, still do things the proper way. If y'all take a loss, you know why. It wasn't like y'all got to calculate, like, why did this movie bomb, or why did y'all know why, the pandemic, and then just head towards the future. Do things and make the money in the future. But the idea that they're treating things like, oh my God, we're panicking, we can't lose, let's just release on streaming services, let's do this, let's do that, and ruining things. Like, they're like, we're watching these studios ruin things. Like Bob Chapek, the big problem is that he released that movie on the streaming service. That's the start of this whole Disney, this whole Scarlett Johansson situation, and didn't know how to renegotiate the deal. And same thing with Warner Brothers. So what the problem is, like you're saying, they're making them look very short-sighted, and they're not they're being idiots, both of them.
Yeah,
Both.
yeah, I agreed.
And these supposed to be the smart executives. They're like, really, I feel like me that don't know shit about that could have did a better job than the way they were handling stuff. So
You almost kind of make me think about with one of the very first. I don't know if it was the first episode or one of the very first episodes on this podcast where you were like, "Scared money don't make money."
absolutely, that's facts. That's facts, man.
You're like,
Scared money don't make money.
It's
man.
like you see like a fire in these boardrooms, like this like figurative metaphorical fire,
Yeah,
and then everyone's like trying to press
the button.
Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what is going on, and really don't realize they pressing a button to start a bigger fire. Like that's what they're not understanding. So yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to the extra news here, and there again, some of these extra news could have been top news because just how much very potent stories that we talked about.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was extra news. I thought this was all top news.
All of that, everything we've done so far is top news, and everything going forward is going to be extra news.
Wow.
Number one, WB refused to let director Denis Villeneuve shoot Dunes 1 and 2 back to back as one production. Number two, The Batman will have a Penguin spin-off show on HBO Max.
Oh,
Number
shit.
three, Disney has confirmed that the rest of its film slate for 2021 will be theatrically exclusive, with the animated film Encanto being 30 days exclusive, while the rest of the film slate, including Marvel's The Eternals, will be having a 45-day theatrical window. You can thank Shang-Chi's success for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Number four, Halloween Kills will premiere simultaneously in theaters and on Peacock. Number five, Avengers 5 is already in motion, says Kevin Feige. Number six, Morgan Freeman, Al Pacino, Helen Mirren, and Danny DeVito will star in a retirement home murder mystery noir film called Sniff. Number seven, Venom, Let There Be Carnage will reportedly only be 90 minutes long. Number eight, The Wire and Boardwalk Empire star Michael K. Williams has passed away at the age of 54. Number nine, former SNL star and Weekend Update host Norm Macdonald has passed away at the age of 61. R.I.P. to the two of them. Number 10, Keegan-Michael Key to star alongside Timothée Chalamet in Wonka. Number 11, as I stated before, I keep an eye on what's going on with the Golden Globes situation. You know how you always get hate on them for their code of conduct and shit?
Yeah.
The Hollywood Foreign Press appoints external members to its board of directors. So they're not members of the HFPA. And also, I'm going to just pause it right here and I'm going to show you how they look like. Does this at least make you happy?
Oh,
Does this make you happy?
Man, it's like it's literally like it's so. Oh my goodness!
Is it
what
like,
a coincidence! Oh my goodness! This is why I don't.
What do you call it? What is the word I'm looking for? Affirmative action. You know what I mean?
It's
does it feel wrong or does it feel right?
No, it feels forced. Like, let me make sure it's a black guy. Make sure it's a black woman. And then we gotta have a white woman, but make sure it's two women and one guy. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Do stuff because it's right, not do it just because it's convenient for you. It should have been looking like this. If it looked like this from the jump, I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
I knew you were gonna get ticked off on this.
They know how to piss me off. They know how to piss me off, boy. Like real talk.
I like how every time we talked about the things that they're doing to turn the ship around, it pisses you off.
Yeah, it don't do nothing but make me madder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real talk.
Number 12, Shang-Chi officially the highest rated comic book film. That makes me upset.
But to be like on what though?
Rotten Tomatoes, it's got the highest Rotten.
Oh well, to be fair though, like it don't got that many views. It ain't got the maximum amount of views yet, so it could still go down one or two. What's the names? Because it really depends on just for instance, like the Suicide Squad, right? It has 1 point less, I think, than Shang-Chi, but 400 people reviewed it. So and then
no, it's not the critics score, it's the audience score.
Oh, the audience. Oh, okay.
I don't like that.
Okay.
The audience rated above The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, but that
above all these comic book films and
but that doesn't really matter.
Shang-Chi does not deserve that title.
Yeah, but listen, to be honest, it doesn't matter mainly because the audiences can literally they could hack it basically. Like if just say you like you could literally without seeing the movie, you could go and give it a good what's the name? You know what I'm saying? It ain't like the critics where they actually have to see it and review it. If you're on Rotten Tomatoes, you don't know if someone's seen it or not. You could just say I want it to have the highest rating, so let me give it a good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it really it's not a fair way of judging. You know where and that's why you see if you notice you see a lot of times see such a difference in the critic rating and the audience score.
rating.
Yeah.
And the audience rating here, I'm going to stop the extra news here a bit. I'm going to talk about this. I pulled up the article. Shang-Chi has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience.
Yeah.
Beating out like Spider-Man Far From Home, which has 95%. The Dark Knight has 94%.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie, has 93%.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell is it like a margin that big? You know what I mean?
That's why. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like you could tell there's some kind of fuckery going on with it. You know, for all we know, all of China done went in there and liked it or something. You know, who knows?
Number 13, the box office report. Shang-Chi has stayed number 1 for the second weekend in a row, dropping only 54%. I think I typed 55 by accident. But yeah, 54%. And it's Malignant opened at number 3 at $5.4 million. The Card Counter opened at number 8 at $1 million. So yeah, that's a pretty so-so box office. It's not really looking.
I mean, it don't really have no competition, so it's probably gonna remain number 1 for a while, even if it does have a high drop. I mean, because like the next best thing is Free Guy. Like, I mean, that's not gonna do.
And Free Guy, by the way, just crossed the $100 million mark. By the way,
yeah, very successful movie.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it for the extra news, and there's a lot to chew on. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm gonna have to talk faster because I want to like just almost every single one of these. I have something to say. As far as WB refusing to let the director shoot 2 back-to-back, I understand that. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been cheaper.
Yeah, but listen, I understand that because a lot of people just think that's the best thing to do, but that's not always, you know, it's a lot of other things that go into making movies where sometimes that's not always the best option. Like, so for them say, like, we can't automatically just assume, they should have let him do that. Like, no, because we don't understand, you know, we don't understand what's going on behind the scenes in negotiations. That when you shoot things like this, you gotta, like Denis Villeneuve, like to shoot a lot of his stuff on location. You gotta, you know, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying they're right for not letting them shoot back to back, but I'm just saying we can't just assume they're wrong. A lot of people just gonna automatically jump. Oh man, see Warner Brothers, they supposed to let him do whatever the hell they want. There's certain things that you can't just get to do whatever, and these are big movies too. You know, at the end of the day, I think Dune is gonna be very successful, but it ain't like a foregone. This ain't like Star Wars where you could kind of know that it's gonna make. For all they know, this movie could bomb and lose them $100 million. Then you gonna go shoot the second one back to back. So like we gotta kind of hold our brakes on that and assuming that like that they're just wrong for doing that, you know. And so yeah, that's how I feel about that. The Batman. Okay, so the whole thing about the Penguin spinoff. Now here's the thing. They're doing a lot of spinoffs to movies. I don't know, cause see, I feel 2 different ways about it.
John Cena spinoff with the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Then you got the
Birds of Prey. The Black Canary has a spinoff from
Black Canary, and then you got the Gotham show. And then you got this. Now here's my thing. If they're just making these out of nowhere, just randomly, make a show, then I don't know if I like all these spinoff stuff because I just feel like it's random and they want content for their thing. If they want content for HBO Max and they're not putting no thought and effort into producing and making these shows, that can make for a bunch of bad shows. If you're just, green like that because we think it'll make money. Blue Beetle, get them a, you know, like, and so, but if their plan is the consistency I've seen in all this, if their plans are like we're gonna make these movies and then we're gonna have something side show for just about every movie we do that we feel like is, you know, can be successful or we have good ideas for.
What's kind of interesting is like when you think about a movie and audiences always like cling to like a character like they're the breakout.
Yeah, right.
Like if they can sort of identify it internally real fast, like
right.
who's gonna be the breakout star,
right?
Then you can like
and so if that's what they're doing, to me that's a plan, and I'm okay with that. Like because I mean with I seen in an interview they approached James Gunn about doing the Peacemaker spinoff.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't. I always thought it was James Gunn, like, hey man, can we do another? But they approached him to do it. So if they seem like, oh, John Cena is gonna be a charismatic character in this, I think a lot of people are gonna like him, and he's John Cena. Let's do a spinoff show. Like, to me, that's putting effort into kind of trying to come up with ideas. So if a lot of these spinoffs, if this is their like plan to do it, I like it. But if they're just randomly, oh, here's a show, let's do a show, then I don't like it. I feel like there's random, no thought into it. So we'll have to see, you know, down the line if this stays consistent with every movie. Is there going to be some kind of spinoff show to it? Then I'll be like, okay, they have some consistency and I like it. So yeah, that's what I feel about that. Disney. No, wait. So Disney confirmed that the rest of their film slate will be theatrical.
Yes. So like, I can pull it up right now. So it says here, The Last Duel, October 15th. Ron's Gone Wrong, October 22nd.
And this is the rest of 21, right?
The rest of 2021. So Eternals, November 5th. West Side Story, December 10th. And The King's Man, December 22nd.
See, this is good news, but it's frustrating in a way as well, because I feel like they should have, they should have been releasing them in theaters. Like, I feel like that's what is so annoying. Like, it's like y'all are, instead of y'all having a plan and coming up in a board coming up with a plan and sticking to it and like really calculating their plan and sticking to it, I feel like they're just, oh, Shang-Chi made money, put them all in theaters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, before.
No, it's like an interesting experiment.
Yeah,
Bob
but
Chapek said.
but it's
and
like
the experiment was successful. They're like, okay, the rest of our movies are this way.
But see, that's stupid though, because
Eternals, that was up in the air. Who's gonna go to Disney?
But that's what I mean, though. That's what I don't like. Like, y'all, that's what y'all job is for, to assess the situation and see what's best, not be reactionary. Because let's be real. Shang-Chi is a Marvel movie. It made a lot of money because a lot of people want to see a Marvel movie on the big screen. We don't know if The Last Duel or The West Side Story is going to be a box office hit. So what they gonna do if The Last Duel bombs? Are they gonna go back to putting them on streaming service? You can't think like that. Y'all got to be a board. Y'all got to come up with these ideas and stick to y'all plan. One movie might bomb, y'all gonna seem like y'all right. Wrong. One movie might be successful, y'all gonna seem like y'all were right. But regardless, have y'all plan and stick to it. Y'all can't just be reactionary. Like, oh, let's see what Shang-Chi do to decide if we're gonna put anything else in theaters. Like, that's ridiculous. Shang-Chi did good. You know what I'm saying? Black Widow did good, but in some instances it didn't do good. So it's like you can't really think like that. So I like it because as a person that is an advocate of movie theater experiences, I'm glad the rest of these are coming out. But at the same time, it's just a bit disappointing that y'all don't have a better foresight and better, coming up with plans other than being reactionary. So
also, like, I think it's really interesting what they're doing with Encanto. It's that Disney animated movie we talked about, like with powers and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to come out on November 24th, and it says here in this article, I just somewhere up here, it's going to come out on November 24th in theaters exclusively for 30 days. And then it's going to debut on December 24th on Christmas Eve in Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So it's like you got that 1-2 punch where you have the theatrical money for 30 days, and then you have that big Disney Plus. Like,
and I'm cool with that. Like, because that's that's just the same as movies getting how they get short releases and stuff. Like Oscar movies usually get like short releases. That's basically what that is. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, like with wasn't it like Soul that came out on Disney Plus on Christmas Day or
was it Soul? I thought it
was Soul. It was.
Might have been Soul. It might have been Soul.
Well, I think we watched Soul like on Christmas, like as a family, like on home and stuff like that. So
I thought it was before Christmas, but I don't know.
I was like, I wanted to say Thanksgiving, but I think it was Christmas.
You might be right.
But anyways, so I think we made like a double feature. It was like Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day. We watched Wonder Woman in 1984 and Soul on the same day.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, so yeah, that's let's go back to the extra news here. Halloween Kills.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like they putting that on Peacock, and it's like, what? It's one of the things that just it baffles me. Like, y'all not seeing these other studios not having that much success doing this.
Well, I mean, Peacock is like one of the it might be the worst streaming service as far as the numbers of subscribers.
Right.
So I think Paramount Plus might even be above them.
Yeah, but so
what I'm saying is they are sacrificing Halloween Kills at the altar of Peacock to get the Peacock people to subscribe and pay money.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That shit is stupid. Like that, I understand that's what they're trying to do. I get that, but that's stupid for multiple reasons. Number one, you make most of your money in terms of getting that money back for releasing in theaters. That same movie could go to Peacock right after theater. It's only 45 days. It's not like no one gonna want to see Halloween Kills at all no more. Like you could get the best of both worlds. Get your box office money back for putting it out in theaters because you put 100 or whatever they paid to do it. You get that money back. Put it in Peacock. You still do that. But this is the big problem I have with it. Like Netflix, Hulu, a lot of these streaming services, they got their shit from grinding. Like they had to make shows and stop being lazy and like, oh man, we need to hurry up and catch up to put this movie in there. Create some great content and make people want to come to Peacock. Don't try to half step by doing all the like HBO Max where see it's different with HBO Max and Disney Plus because they had so much content already. They could just from years of a lot of their content, they could just throw it on HBO Max soon as you are or Disney Plus soon as they have a bunch of shit. But like Netflix, Hulu, what else was out around that? They had to grind their way to get to number one. It ain't like they could just come out with a bunch of content. They had to pay people to get content for like movies and stuff, and they had to make their own content. So if you're Peacock, to do this Halloween Kills,
Shortcut.
Shortcut the director. No, man, and at the same and on top of that, that's messed up for the director. Like the director, whoever directs movies, their dream is to be able to debut their shit in theaters. Now they gotta put it on a garbage ass streaming service. So yeah, that just annoys me, man. And it's like you're seeing that it's not working for other studios. Why would you just go, oh, let me do the same thing that's costing Warner Brothers Christopher Nolan, or let me do the same thing that's having all these problems with Disney? Like it just
with ScarJo.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I'm glad that Avengers 5 is in motion. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't surprise me because it's Kevin Feige. Like all these movies that we're getting, they've been playing for the last 5 years. We're just now seeing them. So, I mean, like I'm talking about with Eternals and with Shang-Chi, with Black Widow, with these with these streaming shows. We're seeing it now, but Kevin Feige had this planned out for 5 years. So by the time we get to that, like he's already going to be planning the next thing for the next 5 years. So it doesn't surprise me that the Avengers movie is already planned. And that's why these movies are coming out so good, because he's planning way ahead to see like, okay, who needs to direct this? This is the script we got. Who's going to write this? Or this is the story. Who's going to write this? Who's going to direct this? And they just have so much time to figure it out. So even though when they're shooting it, it's looking like they're hurrying up, jumping from movie to movie, but it's already planned. It's just about putting things in motion. So, I mean, it's a great strategy.
The only thing I don't like about Phase 4 is that Phase 4 doesn't end with an Avengers movie. Phase 4 and Phase 5, they might as well just be one big phase because it's just movies. You know what I mean? Like, there's no end cap. Like, usually when like a phase ends, it ends with an Avengers game.
Right. I like the fact that they changing that up a little bit, only because we just came from the big spectacle Avengers movie, right? So coming from Endgame, like all of the Marvel movies led up to Endgame. Well, Infinity War and Endgame, it led up to that. So I feel like to just jump right back to an Avengers movie, I think you want to kind of build a little more after. It's like the low after the high. You don't want to just jump to another Avengers movie. So I kind of agree with not having it right after this phase, you know?
That's what he said in this quote. He says,
oh, really? Damn,
we want there to be a reasonable amount of time from the end game to start a new saga.
This is how I know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I swear I didn't ever read that.
Which is like in big bold print right here, which is already underway and already started. Then you need some time, as we did in Phase 1, to build the saga before you start bringing everybody together.
Yeah.
That's literally what
right. And I swear to God, on my mama's soul, I did not read that.
So, yeah, let's see here. What's next here? A noir film. That's
yeah. That sounds interesting. That boy Al Pacino getting money, but I don't really got nothing to say about this because I don't know who's behind it. So like, great cast. I mean, it's crazy how Al Pacino at 80 is still like such a big factor in the game right now.
Yeah.
Like that lets you know he's one of the greatest top 5 actors to have ever acted, to be so heavily in so many things. We're still seeing Al Pacino like as if he is in his 30s, like, and he's 80 years old. Like most dudes are retired or about to pass away at this age. He's still making a lot of movies. So I ain't gonna say I'm excited about this because I don't know enough about it, but I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, you got an Oscar-winning director.
Yeah. Taylor Hackford, he directed directed Ray.
Oh, he did Ray. Okay, so I'm a little bit more excited for it then because Ray is a masterpiece, and Taylor Hackford has done a lot of other good movies as well. So, and it sounds interesting. I'm interested that they got actors all above 50 as the main role. So that seems interesting.
I think Event of Let There Be Carnage is like 90 minutes long. I think it might be one of the shortest superhero movies.
Yeah, see, I don't, that to me, that's bad news. Like,
really?
Yeah, that's bad news. Like, I feel like movies, not all movies need to be long, not all movies need to be short, but it's like you're talking about a sequel in a big blockbuster franchise. It's only 90 minutes. Like, to me, that's a letdown. Like,
it means you don't have a lot of story.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of story. To me, it's like, and they want to deliver in the action, so you need these slow character moments. Like, listen, movies are long. If you think about Endgame, right? A lot of people, when Endgame came out, it introduced at 3 hours or whatever. A lot of people felt like, because it needs more time for the action, or it needs more. No, Endgame is long because it needs more character time. If you think about the first 45 minutes, it's all slow character moments about people dealing with losing people and grief and all that. Like, that's why that movie's long. It's not long because we need this the biggest movie, so we need more action. It's because we need more character and story. That's what's gonna make it good. So when you look at a sequel to a blockbuster like Venom, and then it's only 90 minutes long, it's gonna show that they're just gonna be gunning for this fun action, fast-paced movie, and they're trying to cut it short. So it's probably, I didn't like the first Venom, so I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna like this one either.
Okay. All right. I don't.
R.I.P. to Michael K. Williams, man. He's a great actor. One of the first actors I watched in The Wire. So R.I.P. to him. Good actor. I hated to see that news last week. And R.I.P. to the McDonald.
Yeah. I used to watch Weekend Update growing up on Saturday Night.
Yeah,
Saturday Night
he was
Live.
a funny guy, man.
Yeah.
Funny guy. R.I.P. to him. So to lose two people in 1 week is crazy.
He basically invented the Weekend Update model. I think the Weekend Update was a thing, but when he took over as the anchor, he recreated the show and started but yeah, that's that is
that's all I got.
That's all we got here because. We talked about the Shang-Chi stuff. I mean, like I said, that is 98%. Come on.
I ain't really tripping because it's the fan side. If it was the critic side, it'd be a little different.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to check this out. Check this out. So for check this out, Troy, we have 8 trailers.
Jeez.
It's not a lot, but. I'm not gonna lie, it's not. These aren't that bad, actually, to tell you the truth. We talked about how The Matrix Resurrection is gonna have a trailer drop last Thursday, and so we'll go ahead and start things off here. Let me mute the audio here. There we go. So The Matrix Resurrection trailer actually didn't really it didn't give away anything, in my opinion. It sort of has a bunch of shots, and it doesn't have any context. It
has a little bit of context. You kind of understand that it's gonna have something to do with the past because you got the young, or something to do with a version of the past, or something because you got a young.
You think is he Morpheus?
Morpheus, yeah. He got that young Morpheus, so it's so time in some way got to play a part if you got a young Morpheus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you also understand that old girl don't remember who.
They don't remember each other.
Yeah, they don't remember each other. So you got something kind of alternate, either alternate timeline or some kind of past or something like that. But like you said, don't give away a lot. But man, what a dope trailer though.
I mean, it looks it doesn't really feel anything interesting. It feels very when you see everyone on their phones and stuff like that. There's a part of me almost kind of feels like the Matrix is more relevant now than it was then.
It feels like it matches this time.
Yeah.
And it just looks fucking badass. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna act like this made me excited for this movie because after the last 2 Matrix being that bad, I don't know if I could just jump on board, but in terms of excitement, but this trailer was a masterpiece. When you watch the trailer, because you got to understand, one of the things that made Matrix so great was how revolutionary it felt. When you see the stuff that was happening on screen and some of the great combat, it felt like something that was unusual. You don't get to see quality like this. And when you watch this trailer, you get that same feeling oh shit, they're bringing something new to cinema. You know what I'm saying? And so it looked just dope. It was badass as fuck.
What's his name? Yahya Abdul. What is his name? I forgot.
The dude from Candyman. I do LeBar. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, Abdul Mateen now.
Yeah, Mateen. Yeah.
What's really interesting is like
he's getting a lot of work.
He's
man.
like he was in Aquaman. He was Black Manta.
Black Manta. Yeah, he's getting a lot of work. I'm not really a big fan of his, but
really,
yeah, like to me, he's a okay actor. He's subpar. Like I didn't like him in Aquaman at all. Like I didn't like him and I liked Aquaman. I really did. But I just feel like he's subpar.
Damn, I didn't know.
You
like
like
can't be talking shit about your homie. Like,
my homeboy.
Yeah,
Hell
homeboy.
nah. I listen. I don't think he's terrible. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think he's a great actor. That's just me. A lot of people probably disagree, but that's just me. I don't think he's great. But that being said, he's getting a lot of work. So obviously Hollywood disagree because he's getting a lot of work.
My only problem is like I wish they brought Lawrence Fishburne back. I really think that you needed to have like the Trinity.
I know, like that.
Only 2 out of 3. Like I don't even know. I don't know if it was like a situation where like they didn't even ask.
Well,
Lawrence
I mean,
Fishburne.
if the
if like if I don't know I don't know if I'm making this up, but like I feel like I remember reading something about like Lawrence Fishburne wasn't even asked to come back.
Well, yeah, because if the story, like, it seems to me that the story is taking, like, the reason why he's recast, it seems like he's younger, so they kind of casted a younger guy instead of doing the, like, whole, like, de-aging thing. They probably was, like, the traditional way of casting a younger guy. So it doesn't feel like they just recasted him for no reason, you know what I'm saying? So that seems to make sense.
Next up is Hawkeye, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like not really that excited. Like, I mean, it just sort of felt all right. Like the Rogers musical that was happening, I was more excited about that than I was about the actual show. You seen the trailer?
I personally didn't like the trailer at all. Like, first of all, it didn't the whole Christmas feel didn't go with what they were presenting to me. It just didn't match. Yeah, it didn't match. And honestly, to be honest, like, and this is just me being real, I'm not the biggest Hawkeye fan. Like, he doesn't. It's not that I don't like him. He just doesn't do nothing for me. A dude shoots arrows. Like, I'm like, really? So he doesn't really do nothing for me. The only thing that I did like about the story is how they kind of went with the end game. I mean, with the end game kind of, or was it end game? Yeah, end game, where he became like a ninja, a badass.
Ronin.
Yeah. So I like how they kind of, continue in that story. But overall, I don't think I'm gonna really watch the show. It's it looks subpar. They're gonna add another Archer in there that's gonna be also doing the same shit.
Well, I think Kate Bishop I think they're trying to set up for Young Avengers.
Avengers, yeah, and I'm not on board with that so far.
Damn.
Yeah, because they doing it with old girl too, with Black Widow. Like, she got her little sister. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was thinking like, what's her name? What's her Cassie Lang? From Avengers Endgame, how they aged her up. So Young Avenger, right?
Stature, yeah. So I ain't gonna lie, it just didn't do nothing for me. This probably gonna be the first Disney Marvel show that I'm not gonna watch.
I call bullshit. I think you're gonna watch it.
Nah, I don't think so. Like, here's the thing.
At minimum, the pilot.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't really just watch stuff just because it's DC or Marvel. Like, the same thing with DC. I'm not gonna watch this damn Penguin show just because it's DC. It's the Penguin. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not gonna watch Peacemaker just because it's Peacemaker. Like, it has to intrigue me and make me want to watch it. I watched Loki because I love Loki. I watched WandaVision because that looked like a phenomenal story based off the trailers. I'm blown away by it. And I watched Hawkeye and Falcon and Winter Soldier because I like, so yeah, same way you see that I haven't watched the episode yet of What If. Yeah, so I'm not gonna just be on board. Oh, it's Marvel, I'm gonna watch it. No, DC, I'm gonna watch. No, I gotta like it. So
I'm that guy.
I'm personally, like, only shows I'm looking for right now is the Gotham show that's spin off the Batman. Like, they're doing it's gonna be like a police detective show. That show and like another couple of shows, maybe the Penguin, but that's really it.
Okay. Next up is Encounter. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. This just looks interesting. I wanted to just give like a little bit of service to Riz Ahmed since we made fun of him in the Mogul Mowgli.
Yeah.
So he's got I'm making you laugh right now.
That shit was fucking funny, cause we thought he was Mowgli, like from Jungle Book. That's what cracked me up. Cause it's like, that's Mowgli. So yeah, it was good. He made a comeback that quick. Yeah.
So he's got a movie coming out called Encounter. It's starring Riz Ahmed and Octavia Spencer. And it's about a father that goes to save his sons. Like, I think he's like, let me see here. A decorated Marine goes on a rescue mission to save his 2 young sons from a mysterious threat. As their journey takes them in an increasingly dangerous directions, the boys will need to leave their childhoods behind. It looks like an intense movie, and it's an Amazon Prime movie, so it'll be on Amazon Prime. And maybe it might be in theaters for like a limited release thing, but December 10th, it's gonna be rated R. It looks actiony.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
It don't look bad. It don't do nothing for me. It don't look bad. Damn, we didn't even talk about that. We didn't even talk about Injustice shit.
You know what? Let's do it right now because I actually did not even put that in the check this out doc. So let's pull up the Injustice trailer because I forgot about it. Injustice is gonna have an animated movie. It's like those DC movies that always have those animated cinematic universe things going on. So they're doing Injustice League. They captured and kidnapped Lois Lane, and Batman is on the case, and he's like, we gotta go save Lois as one of ours and stuff like that. And so I've played. It's literally like a retelling of the
video game.
Video game, yeah. So,
that looks fantastic. Listen, I'm super excited about this. Like, I haven't anybody that knows me, like these DC cartoons, I don't really fuck with them like that because they trash these days. Back in the day, they were amazing when you had
Justice
Red
League
Hood, when you had like what else? We had
Justice
Red
League
Hood.
War? Did you like Justice League War? Oh, no, you didn't like it.
I ain't like War, nah. But back in the day, Flashpoint Paradox was a masterpiece. Like, they used to really come with it. Like, a lot of these movies. But then it's like once they start basing their cartoons off the New 52, like once they like with War and all those, them were like New 52 type characters. I haven't been liking them in a long time. But this looks fantastic. Like, because it's like it's its own story. It's not like it's going to be based off like New 52 shit. It's going to be off the Injustice shit. And I love the Injustice video game. I played that game so many times and the story's fantastic. So for them to animate that.
You know what's kind of interesting is that I actually was expecting, like, whenever they said, an Injustice movie is being made, I was thinking Injustice theatrical movie, like a theatrical animated movie. I don't know why, but I completely forgot about the straight to Blu-ray Disney or DC movies and stuff like that.
And I'm glad they still somewhat doing that because I already thought that this would go extinct. All these straight to DVD, like they just did it with what was the last one that just came out? I think it was what the fuck was it? Oh, it was Red Hood. Like they did like the Red Hood, a new version of the Red Hood that came out or whatever. And so I'm surprised that they're still doing this because you would think, all right, just put this on HBO Max, like it's a new thing.
Put it on DC Universe.
Do they even still have that?
I don't think so.
That shit was whack as fuck. But yeah, so I'm glad because I'm a fan of hard copy media still. So I'm be interested in picking that up.
No, we teased this last week, The Guilty, which is we put out a teaser trailer on Check This Out last week, and this is the actual full-blown trailer, the trailer, and it's starring Jake Gyllenhaal. It's called The Guilty, and he's like a 911 operator. This one actually has you already got like in the feeling of intensity, like on the teaser trailer, if you actually watched it.
Yeah.
But now on this trailer, like you actually have even more intensity, more context, and it makes me want to watch this movie, by the way. Just how much like it reminds me of like that Halle Berry movie mixed with like Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
So
it does have that, like both of those. Like it has like the story of the Halle Berry and the tone of Nightcrawler.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. So let me look at this here. It says it doesn't have a release date on this description. Usually they put the release dates on here, but okay, whatever. So I don't know if did you actually watch this trailer?
Yeah, I did. Here's the thing, like I don't necessarily think it's gonna be anything bad. I just don't trust Netflix yet. So the thing is that I gotta wait and see on this one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't do good at picking movies. For his talent, I feel like he picks subpar movies. Like every now and then you get a Nightcrawler or something like that, but if you look at his resume, he's not the best at picking great movies. He's got Prince of Persia in there. Right. He throws in trash every now and then. He'll have End of Watch and he'll have like one
Source Code,
but then he'll throw in some garbage mixed in there, so you don't know if this is one of his good movies or one of his bad movies.
Damn. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the next bit. Don't Look Up. Ooh. Oh my God, this is a good week for trailers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I actually had to cut indie movies out of this just to because we have so many trailers to cover. But this trailer is just mostly Leonardo DiCaprio just breathing.
Yeah,
Real talk.
Yeah, but like you get an understanding of like this, and this is one of my top 5 most anticipated movies of the year. I mean, we've been already
And it's Netflix.
We've been talking about this, but you know what I'm saying, like the director that did this movie is a master. Adam McKay is a master director. He's not just one.
He's not just comedy.
He's not just He's not just a good comedy director. No, he's a master filmmaker that also is good at comedy. It's a difference. And the cast in this is probably one of the best casts ever put together. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like literally not a single person that is not a superstar in the movie. Like it makes me question how they get the money to pay all these celebrities to be in this movie. Like so, the talent level is ridiculous. And usually when the talent level is that high, they all read a script that was so amazing that they all had to be in it. And I might add, Leonardo DiCaprio is the best in the business at picking movies. We just talked about how what's her name is not good. Leonardo DiCaprio, just about every single movie he does gets a Best Picture nomination. Just about every single one. Like he doesn't have a bad movie. If he does, it's like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so for him to be in this Netflix movie, it must be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So it's gonna be in select theaters and on Netflix on December 24th.
Yeah. So it looks like an Oscar contender to me,
Yes.
and I like that. And it's like such a unique premise. Like it's like the end of a world movie.
Yeah.
Like like I don't really even understand. I can't even fathom how the story is gonna work out. But and also I might add, like Leonardo DiCaprio, he proves again that he's like probably he's the biggest star on earth. A lot of people say like Rock or like no, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. This teaser, 1 minute teaser, got like 10 million views like already. Like and it's mostly got Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm telling people that Leonardo DiCaprio is the biggest star. He makes movies that shouldn't even do 100 million and they do like 500 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm telling you, this movie gonna be successful for Netflix.
So we have Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Jonah Hill,
Jesus Christ,
Tyler Perry, Timothy Chalamet, Ron Perlman, Ariana Grande, Kate Blanchett, and Meryl Streep.
Like that don't even seem real. Like how do you get all these people? Like I don't even understand how they had the money to pay all these people. And I heard Leo wanted 30 M's for him. Like, Leo, like, oh y'all Netflix, y'all got unlimited money. I need 30 million. And then I think Jennifer Lawrence got 20 million. Both of those are records for like movies
go straight to streaming.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Jesus Christ. And then that's just them two. That's 50 million in terms of budget. That's 50 million with just two actors. And then you have a whole celebrity list of actors
and a production defense.
And you got to do the production. What the fuck? Netflix, they just got unlimited money, man. Like this movie had to have been like a $200-something million budget. Like
what's really interesting is like if you think about the math, like if you have 200 million subscribers, and let's just say they all pay $10 each, but there can be higher or lower.
Yeah.
And that's $2 billion you're making a month.
Yeah, right.
That's like insane. Like
yeah,
and that's a completely
and it trips me out because Netflix is in debt, so I don't be understanding
because they spend more money on content than they make in subscription.
Yeah, it just tripped me out. Like if you making that much money, why are you still going over? Like you know what I'm saying? Like you making billions a month. Like why are you going? How are you spending that much more than what you're making to be in debt? Like
servers for like programming, the talent, like production. Like you got to spend money to make money, kind of thing, and they're like
that's like they're spending money to lose money. That's like they operating on the opposite end of the spectrum. But hey, if they're doing it, something they doing.
I don't think I actually mentioned the name of the title of the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It's called Don't Look Up. Yeah. Next up is Zero Contact, which is a movie that I almost didn't include because it felt really weird. It's starring Anthony Hopkins. And
you said it felt weird. I almost didn't include
Look
it.
at this. I've never heard of this. Vuel? I don't even know.
Heard of it
it's like I think it's like a streaming service. It says let's see here. It's directed and written blah blah and arrives on September 24th on the global NFT distribution and viewing platform VUELE. I don't know what that.
You ain't never heard of that?
Nuh-uh.
Me either.
So it's coming out literally like in 10 days. It's an Anthony Hopkins movie, and I don't even know how the fuck they got Anthony Hopkins.
I don't know either. Like if Anthony Hopkins wasn't in this movie, we probably wouldn't even review this trailer right now.
Exactly. I almost cut this trailer.
I mean, but hey, listen. To be fair, like you know, it might be a great script. You know, sometimes if you got a great script, man, you could get anybody. Like, who knows? This movie might be great, and we just don't have no clue where the platform is coming out on or what it's going to be. But in terms of, we don't know what the script was like. That's probably how they got Anthony Hopkins.
So it's shot like that one movie. What's that movie called? Searching. Yeah, it's literally like got that
that vibe
that
to
FaceTime.
Yeah,
call.
that FaceTime call. Yeah.
So basically, yeah, they're literally like filming.
See,
like
I don't know if I like that. Only because Searching did it first.
Yeah.
So now if you do it after, it just feels gimmicky. Like, or it feels like you're just stealing their shit. Like,
you know. Unfriended did it first, but you know.
Oh,
they did it worse.
But they did a bad job. Yeah. Searching mastered it. Like, it was a great movie. But this, I don't know. It might be good though. I don't, you know.
And you got Anthony Hopkins doing a FaceTime style.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Performance.
Yeah. But see, but to be fair though, like, cause I remember watching Searching, and I was like, for them to do this movie, and damn, this got some horror shit. Go back. Yeah. That shit was. I ain't gonna lie. If this is a scary movie, I'm excited because this is a very good idea for a scary movie. Like, don't that shit kind of scare you? Like,
it's like because it's an intruder. It's an intruder breaking in. But he's got like this scrambler thing that masks his camera.
Lie,
so
bro.
when you have the camera pointing at him, you see digitized shit.
I ain't gonna lie, this is an interesting movie. I ain't gonna lie. Just seeing this trailer is an interesting premise. I should say that. It's an interesting premise. But also, like what I was about to say before is, one thing about doing a movie like this, it forces you to have a good story. Because if you don't have a good story and you're telling a movie with this type of style, it can be very boring, you know what I mean? Because you're seeing this in this kind of quality, you're like, what the hell? So it got to be something engaging about the story to keep you invested in this, like Searching was. So it seems interesting to me, man. I ain't gonna lie, it makes me very curious because it seems like a mystery type of movie.
Let me read you the synopsis. Zero Contact follows 5 characters based all over the world, connected by their only devotion to the late founder and tech titan Finley Hart, played by Anthony Hopkins, forced to work together to shut down Hart's most secret invention, a machine that is either the solution to mankind's problems or the end of the earth. So,
see, that ain't a lot of synopsis made me less interested.
I think Anthony Hopkins, I watched the trailer and it make it seem like Anthony Hopkins invented a time machine, is what it seems like, and they're trying to like fix his problems that he created, because if the time machine fucks up, it creates the end of the world, like a paradox thing, and so they need to fix the machine.
See, never mind. I was more excited. It seemed like they going for some sci-fi shit.
It is some sci-fi shit.
Yeah, see, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know they was doing that.
And then I guess somebody's trying to kill him for preventing them, or I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, like I said, this is the only thing that's remarkable is that it's Anthony Hopkins.
It's got Anthony Hopkins.
That's it.
Yeah. That makes it more legit. Like, it don't just feel like some random movie. Like,
yeah. Next up is Last Night in Soho.
Oh my God, I can't wait for this movie. God damn, I'm so excited. Because this is Edgar Wright, bro. Like, in the trailer, is this a new trailer?
It's a new trailer.
Oh shit, I haven't even seen this trailer. I'm tripping, bro. Like, but all I know is the first trailer was mesmerizing. It was so good.
We got more story.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I should have seen the goddamn trailer, man. I'm mad at myself for not seeing the trailer. But I'm so excited for this because, listen, one of the things with horror, like I was just talking about when I just seen Candyman, it's like they feel so cliche. But just watching a trailer of this, I felt like this is unique. Like, this is a unique story, and it feels legitimately scary just off camera movement. Like, this shit creeped me out in the first trailer when she walk up to a different person, and it's like, that shit is creepy. It's a tone thing. It's a tone thing you got to master for horror.
Look at this. Look at this shot right here. She's going down the stairs, and on the mirror, it's someone else.
Yeah, see, like, it just seems like such a unique idea, right? Like,
the way this movie is shot is like
phenomenal, top notch.
Like,
top notch, man. Yeah, like, to me, it seems like a unique idea. It's that simple. It feels unique and different, and I'm definitely gonna go back and watch this trailer because that's one of the things I wanted to see more, is a little bit more story from the first trailer. But yeah, Edgar Wright, I'm excited because he's Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah, and as I stated before, I forgot to mention, as always, and check this out, the links are always going to be in the description when you guys want to watch the trailers for all the things that we're talking about.
Anna Taylor-Joy, she's like in all the horror movies. Like, she's typecast at this point in horror movies, but it works for her.
What is it called? Split?
Split, yeah, she was in Split. She was in a bunch of stuff.
Mutants?
New Mutants, yeah. She's in other stuff too. I just can't think. But yeah, I'm excited for it. This October is coming, baby.
Yeah, so yeah, it does come out. I guess the trailer says it here. Let me see. I'm pulling it up here.
Man, this
October
is
29th.
Hey, this is the best we did for trailer. Like, this is ranked number 1 for trailer that we've ever done. Like, Jesus Christ.
All right. Next up here, I want to just, I guess, ending it on a bit
On
of
a bad note.
On a bit of a bad note, but not gonna lie though, this makes me want to watch this movie. We covered a teaser trailer.
It looks nice. Yeah, I like how it looks. It looks badass. Like,
Yeah, we covered a teaser trailer before. Now it's the second trailer has come up for a movie called Ron's Gone Wrong. It comes out next month in October. It's made by 20th Century Fox. It's an animated movie. It's a kid animated movie, and he's got his own little like pet robot. So basically, like we covered it like the premise before. Yeah. But this gives me like a better idea of the premise and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think it's really cool. I actually am intrigued, and because I kind of like to fall for like these kid movies like a lot of times.
Visually, it makes me want to see it just because it looks really good. Like it
looks. It's got that Pixar-ish kind of.
Yeah,
look
it got a Pixar look to it, but like in terms of the little robots, how they look, like it looked like the lighting is different. Like I don't know, it looks something. It looks dope. Like, and I think that makes me want to. And I'm a big fan of Pixar too. So anything that's Pixar or copying Pixar in terms of like this, I'm interested. So
so there's a lot going on with the trailer.
See, look how that looks. That didn't look like a cartoon. Like the robot, I don't know. It looks different
it's
from
like
the
illuminated.
Yeah, and it looks cool.
We see a lot more personality of the robot. By the way, like we have way more context than the teaser let us know. And so,
this might win Best Animated Film for while we're bullshitting.
You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if it's nominated because Pixar's gonna obviously Pixar win. Like it's the Pixar category. You know what I mean? The only time Pixar ever didn't win was when Spider-Verse happened.
Yeah, Spider-Verse. Yeah.
But otherwise, like it's got something going on where like the robot touched the robot and it created like a virus.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. So it looks like insane.
It does. Visually, it looks impressive. I will say that it looks impressive and it looks fun.
So we'll keep the title. The best week of Check This Out ever.
Oh yeah, this is the best by far. Like it's the best week ever for Check This Out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch this movie. You know what? I'm gonna commit to saying that I'm gonna watch this movie in theaters when it comes out.
Hey.
I'm sold. I was sold by the teaser to tell you the truth. But I'm even more.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't sold by the teaser. I ain't gonna lie, because when we seen the teaser, I felt a little goofy, like a little robot running around. Like what the fuck? Like, but it looks better, a lot better. Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to Check This Out. Or not check this out.
Topic of the show.
And I forgot, I cannot play the sound effect for YouTube people. Anyways, for topic of the show, it is time for topic of the show. For topic of the show this week, we're going to be talking about streaming services and what should studios own streaming services. Now, I have an article from like 2020 that I pulled up here for reference, and it's talking about like an old law from 1945. It's called the Paramount Decrees. They were ended last year in August of 2020. And this is an article talking about why it's a bad idea. I'm not going to actually read the full article. The first half of the article is talking about the Paramount Decrees and what they meant and what they did. The second half of the article is opinions. I'm not going to read that part. I just want to give you guys the factual context of what's going on here. At a time when theatrical distributions and movie theaters are facing unprecedented challenges, the federal government just dealt them another blow. This was, again, August 2020. On Friday, a New York federal judge approved a motion from the U.S. Department of Justice to end the Paramount consent decrees, which have dictated the movie industry licensing rules for over 70 years. Given this changing marketplace, the court finds that it's unlikely that the remaining defendants would collude to once again limit their film distribution to a select group of theaters in the absence of the decrees, and finds, therefore, that the termination is in the public interest. There was a 17-page court opinion here. And it says here, in the landmark 1948 decision of the United States versus Paramount, effectively ended the classic Hollywood studio system, forcing major studios, including Paramount, RKO, MGM, Universal, Columbia, and 20th Century Fox, to divest from vertical integration. At a time of the decision, it was commonplace for studios to own large swaths of theaters in the country, which they filled with their own output. So, let me just go ahead and explain that here. Warner Brothers, let's just say, Paramount owned movie theaters that were Paramount owned. Therefore, they only played Paramount movies. They did not play Warner Brothers movies. They did not play Universal. Yeah. It was Paramount made the movies. Paramount exhibited the movies. So what they did is in these Paramount decrees is they said movie studios, you're not allowed to own your own theaters. You need to not be the person who vertically integrates. You can't. Yeah. So basically now you have companies like AMC and Cinemark and all this other stuff like pop up, and they're the exhibitors, and they're the ones that like bid for and just get like deals from all the companies. So basically movie theaters can now play all the studios from Disney to Warner Brothers to Paramount.
Okay.
So that's basically what happened.
They're saying, okay. So why would they change that though?
They did. They abolished that law. They got rid of it.
What the fuck? Why
You did not know about this?
Damn, bro. Like, so that means they can start doing theaters again.
So in theory, like this article goes later on. It's like they say in theory, Amazon can buy all the movie theaters, and Amazon can start. They can say.
But see, here's the thing. Why would they abolish that law when it's important more than ever?
They're saying that it's not important. This
article saying it's not important.
No. This article is saying it's important, but the judge that ruled says that this law is irrelevant. It's old. That's what it's saying.
Stupid, man.
Okay.
My God.
So with the Paramount decrees, studios were ordered to get rid of their distribution arms or theaters, requiring them to sell the theaters to independent companies. They also made to end the practice of what was known as block booking, which was bundling multiple films under one license, forcing theaters to take subpar content alongside major releases, and circuit dealing. Okay, wait, let's go ahead and let's stop there before I get to the circuit dealing. So basically, block booking means that if you want to play Star Wars, like let's say I'm Disney, if you want to play Star Wars in your movie theater, you also need to book these two movies that are not going to make you money. So they were forced to take the good movies with the bad movies to play it in order to play it.
And they were saying they banned it.
They banned that. Yeah, the Paramount decrees banned that practice too. You have to book a movie on a one-by-one basis. So
they're saying since all this stuff is now allowed again because they ended that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're saying that it's possible. They're saying that it's possible that they can do these things because now they're illegal. The other thing was say block booking, and then there's circuit dealing, which license a film to all theaters under common ownership rather than a theater-by-theater basis. These two terms have been given a sunset period over 2 years in the new decision to allow theaters time to build new business practices. So let me just go ahead and say why they thought that it's irrelevant. It says, last November, the Department of Justice moved to abolish these decrees with the argument that they have outlived their usefulness due to changing business models. Judge Torres agreed with the argument, suggesting that the shifting media landscape and the rise of new studios not bound by the decrees have made them irrelevant. So at the time, Disney didn't exist, so Disney technically did not have to play by these rules, but they did anyways because they were operating under good faith, that it applies to them too. Yeah. So let's just basically saying that studios that have formed like Lionsgate didn't exist back in the 40s.
Hopefully that these studios were still operating.
They were operating under these assumptions.
I'm saying hopefully they still continue.
Beyond. So it says here, in today's landscape, although there are some geographic areas with only one screen theaters, most markets have multiple movie theaters with multiple screens simultaneously showing multiple movies from multiple distributors. There are also other movie distribution platforms like television, the internet, and DVDs that did not exist in the 1930s and 40s. Given these significant changes to the market, there is less danger that a block booking licensing agreement would create a barrier to entry that would foreclose independent movie distributors from sufficient access to the market. They're saying
That's not true, though.
They're saying that, like, hey, like we have all these other things. The internet's a thing. Blu-ray's a thing. Like, this doesn't matter. Like, that's what they're trying to say, and that's why they abolished those laws.
That's such a stupid, like, that's so dumb. That they basically saying since this is old, it don't matter no more. Like, what the fuck? You got laws that still that don't make no sense. Like, and the thing about it is, it's like it's even worse now because you have like all these different streaming services that want to get into the game, and if anything, like you just mentioned, Amazon, they might say, look, we got the money.
Let's buy it.
Let's buy a shit ton of theaters and just only play our shit, you know. And then Netflix say, "Oh, you bitches! All right, let's buy all these theaters and only play this now." And now the studios are like, "Damn, we got to get in this game because these net streaming. Let's buy all the, like it's even worse now because
theaters are hurting for money.
Right. Yeah. Since theaters are hurting for money, soon as one or two of these streaming services
about, like, the bankruptcy or like they're filing for bankruptcy. bankruptcy for like the Alamo Draft House and all that.
Right,
Stuff.
like as soon as they do that for a year or something, like that's gonna start putting, and it's gonna be in a situation where you see how it is with streaming services now, where it's like everything, all the content is spread it out through streaming service. Like, damn, I gotta get Disney Plus to get this. I gotta get Netflix to watch this. I gotta watch Peacock. Right, it's gonna be like that with theaters. Like soon it's gonna be like, damn, I gotta go to this theater to see this movie. I gotta go to this theater to see this. Like, you won't be able to just go to AMC and then after you leave this movie, you might have another screening for another movie that's like you gotta literally go to just different theaters. It's gonna put like AMC and all these Alamo, that's gonna put them out of business. Like and like it really makes me question. It's so stupid, and their excuse is so stupid. It make me question like if it was some kind of like shady shit going on in the background.
Well, this was also done in like August of 2020, and technically Trump was still president. So Trump was like big on deregulating stuff.
Yeah, like it made me feel like it was some shady shit going on. Because first of all, the law is so old. Why would you even want to change it? Like it's been this way. Like what does it do? Like what is the purpose of like? Because usually when you change a law or change anything, it's because something was wrong and we need to correct it. What is this correcting? Like so you're just changing it.
And not to mention like some of their arguments in their verbiage said like they're saying. They basically are read to me as saying studios wouldn't dare do this anyway, so...
Yeah, but that's not true because, first of all, people are always every competition business are looking to get a way up on their competition, right? So right now they might not think of it, but one day someone might, I got a bright idea. You know, it's legal now. We can get our own theater. Hey, we got the money, and then they do it, and then it always creates something a domino effect, and where everybody's gonna have to start doing it. Then it creates a problem, right? Like it's in a way, it happened with Netflix. Netflix was the first ones to do the streaming service. Good idea. Everybody loved Netflix, and now everybody say, "Damn, I got to get me a streaming service." Then you get a streaming. And now, Netflix, now we in a situation where we got too many streaming services. It's like it's streaming services everywhere. All it takes is one person to do that. It takes one Paramount to say, "All right, let me." Since they were around when this happened, Paramount might say, "Let me buy a theater and have only my shit in there." And then what makes it worse is. It's other shit that you could do now. Like now,
let me think about. Let me put it to you this way: what if Paramount bought a theater, like let's say a couple of theaters on a couple of cities, and they were like, "We're gonna show legacy stuff, like old Paramount movies, because it's our theater." You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you like to like see like Top Gun 1 in theaters?
No, absolutely not. Because first of all, it's already movie theaters that do that. They play classic movies. Like it's movie theaters that on Wednesday, if you go at 3, they have Goodfellas playing, but they do it through all different studio. So they already do that. That's not like something that'll be revolutionary. Like, oh, we get to see these classics. Hell no. We could already do that. Like, and even if we couldn't do that, I still wouldn't. That's not worth like going to see a classic movie in theater is not worth changing the whole dynamic of how we see it.
I'm just trying to.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, devil advocate in it. But I'm just saying, like, to me, it's not a good idea. No way you look at it. And what make it worse is like you're not just opening up the opportunity to do that, but like just like that other shit that was like you could like if you play one movie, what did it say? You play one movie, you gotta play
block booking.
Block booking. Now you could block book. So like, what if people start doing that shit? You know what I mean? It's just to me, it just seems like it was some shady shit behind the scenes.
So what's kind of interesting is like vertical integration is a thing that exists in like all the time. Like Apple,
no matter what,
like the Apple Store. The Apple Stores exist because Apple is the one that manufactured the phone and the laptop, and they're selling it in their own store, their own retail space. Right. You know what I mean? They don't have to sell it at AT&T or sell it at Walmart or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's a way of like owning like everything. And I think that it's interesting to think about it that way. And that's sort of like when I was going to sort of play back to the actual topic of the show. The topic of the show isn't about the Paramount decrees, by the way. It's about studios owning streaming services. Because studios like Disney Plus, Disney makes the content, and Disney can deliver you the content. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you have a straight pipeline direct to Disney. You pay them directly for the content and stuff like that. And so the question that I'm posing is like sort of harkens to the Paramount decrees in the sense that should it be okay for a streaming service like a Paramount to have a Paramount Plus, for a Universal to have Peacock, for Disney to have Disney Plus, for Warner Brothers to have HBO Max? Yeah. basically a movie studio is also owning the content distribution arm.
Yeah. See, I'm cool with that. So yeah, see, I'm cool with that. See, because it's a bit different, right? So like how you said, it's, the topic of the show is more about that than the theater thing. The theater thing is different from the content thing. So the theater thing is like eventually it could potentially end theaters as we know it. Like, you know, where you have to go to a certain theater to watch a certain thing. Now, in terms of in terms of it going straight to a streaming service, yes, you gotta have the streaming service to watch it, but there's no dedication to the streaming service, right? Like I could get Netflix just to watch one show and then end my Netflix subscription. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me for all these different studios to release their shit on their own. What's the name? Like you know, and if they made it, it's okay to let them release it how they want to release it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's okay if Peacock, they want to release their shit on Peacock. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, I don't have to have Peacock. I don't have like, oh damn, now I'm you know obligated to get Peacock now because I want right. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give two shits about Peacock, but I might get it just to watch Halloween. But I don't gotta stay with Peacock. All right, I watch Halloween, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Peacock no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's different from from the movie theater sense that like, damn, I have to go to this theater that might be 2 hours away from me because they're the only ones that's showing it at this specific theater. It's different from that than, you know, every streaming service having their own thing. It's really no different from like, you know, them saying like how you said Apple having their own Apple store. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they make it, you know what I'm saying?
They sell it.
They sell it. And the difference is with that is I don't have to go to an Apple store to get Apple content. You know, I mean, Apple stuff. You see what I'm saying? They sell it at other places too. Yeah. It's just Apple store. They got their own. So, hey, like, you might as well have a store. So,
yeah, but what if, like, you can't buy an iPhone at Best Buy? You know what I mean? Like, that would be interesting.
That would be a little interesting. You know, it'll be a little bit different, but that's not a big deal. It's like, you know what I mean? You go get your shit at Apple. You know, it's like you got to go to McDonald's to get McDonald's. You know what I mean? You can't go to Whataburger to go get some McDonald's. You know what I mean? So, it's, you know, so I feel like it's a bit different. I'm okay with the idea of the streaming service. Like after my big thing is the theatrical experience. Don't take that away. But after the theatrical experience, do whatever you want to. I'm a fan of hard copy media, so I prefer the Blu-rays and DVDs to stay around. But I mean, if they go, they go.
Before we move on from topic of the show, let me pitch to you this idea. Let me pitch to you the idea that movie studios were not allowed to own streaming services. Let's just say. Okay. What if you have Netflix and Netpix, and they have the exact same content? They have all the studios licensing contracts. There is no platform exclusivity, and then instead of when you have competition like this, like Netpix and Netflix, they're gonna start engineering more social features, more friend lists, group viewing. Like they're gonna start engineering features. And so what separates the two would be, you know, where are your friends at? Where, you know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, wait, hold on. Real quick. Is Netflix a part of Netflix or are they just a made up streaming service?
I'm a made up
Oh, you could just use Hulu then. Just Netflix and Hulu. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, let's just say.
But they're the only two, right?
Or like Hulu. Like, let's say, like, there's multiple. But I'm saying, like, all the streaming services
they
don't own anything exclusive. What separates them is the service, not the content. So what I'm saying is, you can then like have like a bidding war kind of thing where everyone's kind of lowering their prices, or everyone's trying to put the new feature that's going to be the hotness. So you're trying to separate yourself that way. Would you rather have that version of events, or would you rather have the version of events where everybody and their mom is having a streaming service, but everybody's trying to make the next Game of Thrones?
Yeah, right. Well, I agree with you. I would prefer to do it like that, just be the two, you know, streaming services. Like I prefer, like if I had to choose, I would prefer like Netflix and just be Hulu, and they be the like how it's been for the last before Disney Plus and before, you know, HBO Max. Like how it was, like, you know, it was just Netflix really, and then the studios was the studios and Hulu or whatever. That's basically like what you're describing is how it's basically been, and I much prefer that, for the reasons you said, and for also, you know, me still being me being a fan of hard copy media, you know, and so I think hard copy media will stay around, and the opportunities for Netflix to be much better because like on Netflix, how it used to be, you scroll through Netflix, you're seeing Warner Brothers movies, you're seeing Paramount, you're seeing Disney movies, you're seeing Marvel movies and shit. You like it was great. Yeah, it was
Netflix
all
had
on one.
everything.
Yeah, it was all on one streaming services. Now I don't have to buy Disney Plus, buy Netflix, buy HBO Max because they got all this content. So I agree. I prefer it like that. Absolutely.
But that was just a thought experiment. Like, I mean, that would be an interesting thing where it's like all the streaming services have to compete on features instead of content. That's just my thought on that idea. But as far as the world that we're living in now, where everybody has their, like the second option was everybody has their streaming service. But think about this: because everyone has a streaming service, Amazon is spending like $1 billion or however much they're spending on Lord of the Rings.
Right, yeah. That's one of the good things about it, yeah.
So in the end, when it comes to competition, when it comes to capitalism, we win because everyone's trying to, woo us.
Yeah, and that's the, like, in terms of talking about the pros and cons, like we just talked about, the idea of it, the pros of just having two streaming services, and that's the pros of, and what you just said is the pros of having a bunch of all this shit because everybody trying to one up each other, and that always makes for better. Like Xbox versus PlayStation was making them so good as they both having to compete with each other. So that's why you're getting these great games from PlayStation. Now Xbox, they've been getting blown out for the last generation, so they trying to make a comeback, and they got all these exclusives, and they come out with Xbox Game Pass. They're trying to like compete, and so that competition makes better for and also in a way you're getting that with Netflix. They're trying to make the best shit they can make.
Yeah, like House of Cards and Stranger Things.
Right. And they're trying to go up against Apple, and then Apple trying to go up against Amazon, and
Apple's making Seed.
Right, and so and that's the good thing. We're getting more content, and eventually we're gonna start getting better content because they're all trying to.
Hulu's got The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah,
everybody's got their thing.
Right. Yeah. So
and it's kind of sucks is like because like I can't watch that everything. Like I don't know like. It's like
that's what sucks.
It's a bit much. Like
it is a lot much for me. Because like you think about Apple, Peacock, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max,
YouTube Premium.
YouTube Premium. Like we're talking about 8 streaming services. So even if all these was only $10, that's $80 a month. You see what I'm saying? So it really is a lot. But the thing is, like I was saying before, you get to pick and choose what you want. Like if there's nothing on Peacock, you don't gotta mess with it. If nothing you don't like on Peacock, you don't gotta mess with it. If nothing on Amazon you don't like, you don't gotta mess with it. It might be one thing on Apple you like, so let me get a streaming service for 1 month to watch that. Boom, you ain't gotta watch that no more. Netflix might be your main. HBO might be your main. So you could play with it. You don't have to. It's not like you have to sign contracts and be dedicated to it.
Remember we talked about it like on a news story where they wanna figure out how to like bind you.
They're trying to, and that's gonna be the next thing because there's gonna be too many people. To try to make commitments and shit.
What do you call it? Breaking contract clauses or whatever, or fees for breaking.
That's what they're gonna do next. And then I'm like, fuck this shit. I ain't watching that. I'm pirating everything. Fuck y'all. No, I'm just saying. But real talk.
So I mean that's like I said, that was definitely a good like discussion. It's a rabbit hole that is just a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I'm more pissed about that law being changed like that.
You didn't even know about that shit. That's a year old.
Yeah, like that right there is more just irritating to me than anything. Like that is potentially could change all theatrical, the way we go to theaters, and that just very upsets me. And and what makes it worse is the excuse for it is so bad that it makes me just feel like it's some corruption behind the scenes. Like, hey, someone saying, hey, release this law. Someone was bribed. Yeah, it just saying like it was a bribery. Like,
I honestly didn't read that far into it. Like I said, like I just sort of like we've been living with that law abolished for a year now. But granted, it was a pandemic.
Yeah, a pandemic. So. Yeah, and a lot of times, like, listen. If someone does have a plan to do something, that plan might not take place for the next 3 or 4 years. So just because something ain't happened yet, it doesn't mean Amazon isn't behind the scenes right now saying, look, we're going to start our own series. It's going to take a few years to get it done, but we're going to start our own theater chain. We're going to have them all over the country, and we only going to distribute our movies. And and that's going to be the domino effect to where everybody, imagine all these streaming services I just named, if they all have their own theaters. That's even worse than I was like, dang, wait, which theater I gotta go to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, bro.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to Netflix and chill. So for Netflix and Chill, we talk about the streaming charts, what's trending on the top 10s on everything, as well as giving you guys a recommendation of what to watch on a streaming platform. So first things up is the top 10 things on Netflix. So number 1 is Kate, which I did not watch. I sort of gave it like a on the new releases last week. Let me tell you this. I've been seeing on Twitter, people were talking about Kate like positively. So I think I might check it out. I've been seeing a lot of Twitter buzz about it. Lucifer, the final season has aired, and it's on number 2. Next up is number 3 is Clickbait, which I've been hearing a lot of things about this too. Like people are talking about this about Clickbait, and I'm like, damn, it's only 8 episodes, I think. It's like a limited series run kind of thing. So, 9/11 happened this past Saturday, and number 4 is Turning Point, 9/11 and the War on Terror. 9/11 shows up a lot on these other charts, by the way. Number 5 is Prey, which is like I think it's a German movie that came out, and it's about like these guys that are on a hiking trip, just kind of like doing their thing, and next thing you know, a sniper just starts shooting at them.
Yeah, damn.
And then like they're like fucking running and like every man for themselves, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like it's like a.
It seems like it's inspired by that Vegas shooting. Remember, like where it was like that big Vegas shooting, so someone was shooting up from the top of that building.
Yeah. I remember. I know that one. Yeah.
It seems like it might be inspired by something like that.
So yeah, they're just out in the wilderness with trees and shit like that, and now they gotta figure it out. Number 6. It went from number 10 last week to number 6 this week is Coco Melon.
God damn, that's what Coco Melon, boy. They like.
I'm gonna go back and look at every doc that I did before and see how many. Like I'm gonna just do a ruling and say that the Twilight shit don't count. It was still in the top 10 that week as well. I'm gonna just say that. Like,
because Coco Melon got pushed to 11 for that
1 week because 5 Twilight movies came out. Was it one, 2, 3?
I think 4, right?
It was 5, right?
Oh, 5.
It was 5 because Breaking Dawn was 2 movies.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, when 5 movies chart at 1 week, it's gonna push Coco Melon.
But it came right back.
Once
and then them motherfuckers are gone now. Nobody will give 2 shits about them.
Twilight.
Yeah, like.
So other than that week, I'm gonna just say like
then
that
it came all the way to 6. Though. It didn't just come back. It came back to 10 and then came back to 6.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I'm gonna see like how many weeks consecutively, not counting that Twilight week, how many weeks consecutively it was on the chart. And what do you want to like put a wager like how many weeks? Like I'm gonna say 25 weeks in a row.
I'm gonna say infinite. I'm gonna say infinite, right. Like until they do a Coco Melon 2 or something. Well, because it's such a kid movie that like I feel like every infant that's new, they say, "Oh, let's put on Coco Melon," and then like so it stays new to kids, you know. So
yeah. So number 7 is On the Verge. I don't know what that is. Okay. Number 8 is a Jennifer Lopez movie starring with Robert Redford called An Unfinished Life. It came out back in 2005. And it's like a drama movie. Number 9 is Shark Dog. Don't know what that is. And number 10 is the soon-to-be Netflix original series Manifest. So that's the shows and movies combined. Now I'm going to just filter out all of the shows and go straight to only movies. The top 10 movies that are trending on Netflix are Kate, Prey, An Unfinished Life, kind of like carrying over from the last list at 1, 2, and 3. Number 4, the Richard Linklater movie School of Rock with Jack Black.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie too, man. That one, R.I.P. I mean, never mind, not R.I.P. I'm tripping.
Richard Linklater was the guy that directed like.
Oh yeah, he's the Dazed and Confused. He done did
Boyhood.
Boyhood. Yeah, he's a master.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was him directing that movie. By the way,
which one?
School of Rock. I didn't know that Richard Linklater directed.
Oh, you didn't know that was him? Yeah.
No, I knew he directed like the Before Sunset, After Sunset. Like I knew
that trilogy.
Yeah, that trilogy. I know he worked with Ethan Hawke. I didn't know he did this one.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Worth, which it was not on the regular chart, but what's really interesting is
Worth.
5th. Oh, 4. If it was on number 4, that would have been fucking hilarious. But what's really interesting about Worth is that I think it came out a week too early because Worth is about the 9/11 victims and that lawyer, right? And Michael Keaton. Yeah. And so I'm thinking to myself, you should have released it on last Friday on the 10th, so it would have been on 9/11 weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever.
That was stupid.
Number 6 is Vivo. Number 7 is Afterlife of the Party. Number 8 is the Jeremy Renner movie, Wind River. Number 9 is another German animated movie, actually. A German animated movie called Fire Drake, the Silver Dragon. And number 10 is A Cinderella Story. I want to know if that's like, is that the Hilary Duff movie or am I?
I
Or
don't know.
the Chad Michael Murray movie. Let me see here.
I don't know. Is that like the new Cinderella?
No, the new Cinderella is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
A Cinderella story. Yeah, it's the Hilary Duff Chad Michael Murray movie from back in '04.
Okay.
I guess because Cinderella's popping off on Amazon, so people on Netflix want to watch a Cinderella movie. So yeah, did you have anything you wanted to talk about as far as the Netflix charts go?
No. It surprised me that Wind River is still
Hanging on.
it's hanging on, and Wind River is the best movie on here. So
Okay. Going on to the iTunes charts, the top 10 things on iTunes is number 1, The Fast Saga. Number 2, The Matrix Trilogy.
hey.
Because of the Matrix trailer.
Yeah.
People bought it on
Yeah,
iTunes.
that makes sense because that trailer makes you want to go back and like remember because you got to get ready for the new movie. You know,
What's kind of interesting is that like a trailer comes out like a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and then Spider-Man Far From Home.
well, it makes sense because I do the same thing. Like I'm excited and to to feed my excitement. I watch the previous shit. Like I do that all the time. You know.
Number 3 is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Number 4 is The Boss Baby Family Business. Number 5 is Jungle Cruise. Number 6 is Wrath of Man. Number 7 is No Man of God, the Ted Bundy movie. Number 8 is Stillwater. Number 9 is Don't Breathe 2. And new on the list is number 10, Joe Bell, which was the Mark Wahlberg movie, which we talked about on new releases a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting stuff on the iTunes charts. And going on to the Amazon Prime charts, Don't Breathe 2 is at number 1, Stillwater at number 2, Jungle Cruise at number 3, Respect at number 4. Number 5 is A Quiet Place Part 2. Number 6 is The Green Knight. And number 7, interestingly enough, F9, The Fast Saga Director's Cut. Like, there's a director's cut now?
Of what? The Fast Saga.
F9?
What is that? What it's called? Fast Saga?
F9, The Fast Saga. That's what it's
That's
called.
such a stupid name because every time you say Fast Saga, I think of the actual saga. Like, are you talking about all of them together? Like, but that's such a dumb name because I keep thinking that Fast 9.
They keep changing the rules because it was like Fast 5 and then Furious 7.
Then they go back to Furious. Like, is it Furious? Are y'all gonna use Furious or Fast? Like,
and then it's Fate, F8, Fate of the Furious.
Oh God, bro! They did these atrocious
the
names.
Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these stupid ass names, man. Like Fast Saga, it confused me every time because like every time you say it, I automatically think the saga. Yeah, it's like damn, the whole saga. Like, but then I realized, that's so stupid, man.
F9, The Fast Saga Director's Cut at number 7, which is, you know what? I just want to like have bump like F9 down to number 9 so I can say like number 9 F9.
It'll probably be at number 9 next week.
At number 8 is Wrath of Man. Number 9 is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. And number 10 is 9/11, The Filmmakers Commemorative Edition, which I think is a documentary on 9/11.
Okay. Yeah.
So, did you want to say anything about the iTunes and Amazon list?
Nah, just other than I hope Fast and Furious 9 gets bumped down to 9 next week. So shit, we can say
Director's Cut. I didn't even know that they.
Damn, Stillwater is up there though. Stillwater, I'm happy to see that because Stillwater to me is going under the radar. Like it's not like I don't hear a lot of people talking about Stillwater, and I think it was a really good movie. So I like how it was at least getting some love somewhere.
I like how it's like Amazon Prime Stillwater has it number 2, but on iTunes Stillwater's at number 8. So
yeah, but it's in the top 10 at both two different platforms though. So that's still, and then iTunes is such a weird top 10 anyway. So
what's really weird is like I almost kind of sometimes don't want to cover the Amazon Prime chart sometimes.
Amazon or iTunes?
The Amazon chart, because one of the things I notice week to week is that the Amazon chart almost doesn't move. There were a couple of shows where I didn't even cover it because it was almost a carbon copy of the same list from last week. It's just a little different order. Yeah. So that's one thing I do notice about it. But sometimes I just want to like.
Yeah, see it.
But my recommendation for the week is actually something that you can watch on Netflix right now. It's a little known movie that stars Ben Stiller and a bunch of other people. By the way, like there's a lot of stars like was it not Gary Oldman? Forgot his name. William H. Macy. I was thinking of his name.
Okay.
There was like a bunch of stars back then, like Gina Garofalo, or I don't know her her weird name. But anyways, Mystery Men. The name of the movie is called Mystery Men, and it's about superheroes, kinda. But it was made back in like I don't know if it was the 90s or the 2000s. I forgot what year it came out, but it was in somewhere in that area, and it was a bit of a parody / a critique on the tropes and superheroes. and it's relevant now because now that superheroes are so pervasive in like pop culture, you sort of like see like those tropes that they were doing. So like Ben Stiller's character, he's like when he gets mad, he gets better at fighting and like other stupid stuff. Like it's kind of funny. It's a comedy, and I don't know if have you seen Mystery Men? Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, Greg Kinnear is like the Batman of that universe, and he's like perfect and he's rich and stuff like that. And that's kind of things get kicked off when his character dies. And then it's up to the Mystery Men to save the day.
Oh, that's solid. That's solid.
Yeah, led by Ben Stiller. So yeah, I'm just saying, Mystery Men is a good movie. Okay. It's got like Kel Mitchell. He plays like a guy that can turn invisible, but only when no one's looking at him.
Oh shit, that's so it don't matter that way.
So when you're not looking at him, then he can turn invisible. Yeah. And so you almost kind of think to yourself, is he bullshitting or is he?
But but the thing is like, who though? Because what if someone else ain't looking at him, but someone else is looking at him? You know what I'm saying?
If anyone's looking at him.
Okay. So as long as anyone's looking at him.
As long as anyone's looking at him. But what's kind of funny is like the whole entire movie, they're like thinking to myself, is he full of shit or is he real? Is it real? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because you ain't no way of knowing. Like.
So, do you want me to tell you if it's real or not? I can spoil it for you.
Go ahead, yeah.
It's real. He can turn invisible. At the end of the movie, there's like this laser that like kills you immediately if the camera sees you. So you walk up to it, the camera's like, it spots you, you die. He's like, laser, and boom. And so he's like, how do we get past that? He's like, guys, it's on me. I can do this. And Kel Mitchell, like, he's like, everybody turn around. Just don't look at me. And he fucking turns invisible. And like,
fucking and I'm like, funny, man. That's crazy.
So yeah, that's like, it's a funny comedy. I think it's good. I want to recommend it. It's on Netflix. You check it out. Troy, do you got a recommendation?
Yeah, I got a recommendation, but it's not on a streaming service.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's from the library. It's a movie it's a documentary called The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? Yeah. And I never really got a chance to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So when I watched it, it surprised me how good it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a
R.I.P. to John Schnepp.
Yeah, R.I.P. to John Schnepp, man. I didn't actually think that he'll put together a documentary so good because really the idea of the documentary didn't seem like it's that fascinating at first because it's like a movie that didn't get made. And usually I think of those as like, oh, it sucks, so it didn't get made. But some of the things just from behind the scenes, the drama behind the scenes, I think that was more fascinating than the movie itself. Like it was like
the story behind the story kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. You had multiple directors that had a vision, and then you had another director came in. The other director was the director that did Batman, the 1989 Tim Burton Batman. They wanted Tim Burton to come direct, but after Kevin Smith was already doing it. Yeah. And supposedly they didn't like some of Kevin Smith's ideas, but Kevin Smith, like from his perspective, is like, no, they just wanted Tim Burton, the guy that did Batman, so it don't matter what I would have did kind of thing. And they just kind of like, it's just going back and forth, and the producers involved in it. And then like, it's funny because like, Kevin Smith it seems like he's right. Like the movie would have sucked if they would have did it because they wanted some just like a big random spider in the movie and like it was like Brainiac was in the movie. It was so stupid, but it's just the drama behind it actually was really good. And
Nicolas Cage was at the height of his career, I would say.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage was at the height of his career.
Superman. And he was in, like, they showed the footage of him in like costume.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's two actual footages of him, and like the first one looks stupid and weird, right? Because it's like this dark. Because I guess the movie originally it was supposed to be dark, you know, and so like it was like this dark costume, and the S looked weird, and it like he had long hair and shit, and it was like what the fuck. But then it was like this other suit that looked just badass or whatever. And I think the whole concept of the movie, the underlying theme of the movie is this movie could have been bad and it could have been good. So it's like stuff in it where you like, man, that would have been good. I wish I would have seen that. And the stuff in it that was like bad. And one of the things is like you never would know. But it really just covers like what happened and why it didn't get made or whatever. And you could just kind of find out that Warner Brothers, because of this conflicting shit, Warner Brothers pulled the plug. Like the fact that we're watching it and we're saying, oh shit, we don't know if this movie would have been a good or bad. That's basically how Warner Brothers felt. Like we don't know if this is gonna be good or bad, and they pulled the plug on it before they lost any money. So it was just a fascinating movie, and it'd been out for a while. I've always wanted to see it, and I never have. So it was great. Did you ever get a chance to see that?
Nope, I never saw it.
I think you should. Any nerd that anybody that just loves comic book movies in general, like myself, yourself, I think you should give it a watch because you kind of find out how a lot of the drama behind the scenes of all these comic book movies that we love to watch. We get to see the behind the scenes of like some of the shit that goes down and how executives think and why you get movies like Batman v Superman that came out the theater version or like the Justice League theater version. Like you see how some of this stuff could happen behind the scenes. So it's fantastic.
All right, cool. I didn't even know that. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I thought that there would be something where like you could only buy it on iTunes. I didn't know there was a physical media release.
Yeah, it's a DVD.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap the show up with the new releases.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
So I am going to tell you right now that there is a 2-horse race going on for pick of the week. All right, and I actually going into this new releases when I was researching, I thought to myself that I knew that Cry Macho, which is the first thing I want to really read here, that Cry Macho was automatically by default the pick of the week. However, an Oscar contender is coming out this week, and we covered it on Check This Out when we saw the trailer, and we were all like enthused about it. And
Which
like
one?
That. So would you know
Nope.
what movie is coming out this week?
Nope.
That's got us buzzing.
You know, I'm bad about that shit. I be looking forward to a movie, and then I be like, don't even know that
it's coming out.
Yeah.
Something like this Friday. It's coming out this
that
Friday.
shit crazy.
All right, so we'll go ahead and I'll surprise you. It's the second pick here on the new releases here. First up, Cry Macho, coming out in theaters this Friday on September 17th. The synopsis reads, a one-time rodeo star and washed-up horse breeder in 1978 takes a job from an ex-boss to bring the man's young son home and away from his alcoholic mom. Crossing rural Mexico on their way back to Texas, the unlikely pair faces an unexpectedly challenging journey during which the world-weary horseman may find his own sense of redemption through teaching the boy what it means to be a good man. We literally saw that synopsis play out in the trailer, by the way. The film stars Clint Eastwood, Dwight Yoakam, and Eduardo Minette as the young boy. So it's a very small cast. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I thought this was going to be my pick of the week. And the other contender for pick of the week is The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Comes out in theaters this Friday. The synopsis reads, in the 1970s, Tammy Faye Baker and her husband Jim rise from humble beginnings to create the world's largest religious broadcasting network and theme park. Tammy Faye becomes legendary for her incredible eyelashes, her idiosyncratic singing, and her eagerness to embrace people from all walks of life. However, financial improprieties, scheming rivals, and a scandal soon threaten to topple their carefully constructed empire. The film stars Jessica Chastain, Andrew Garfield, Cherry Jones, and Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, that's my number one off the rip. To me, it ain't even a 2-horse race. Like I'm kind of into Cry Macho, but nah, it's easily the Tammy. Yeah, that trailer just blew me away.
Like,
she looked like she winning a straight up Oscar in the movie.
Trailer,
like she transformed.
Andrew Garfield, man.
Yeah, and that movie right there, and Andrew Garfield looked. Incredible. Which he used to.
Minimum
clearly.
Oscar nominations.
Yeah,
for both of them.
Yeah, I can't. That's gonna be mine. I can't wait to see it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not even a horse race for me. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
oh my God. See, that's the thing. I was thinking like
Cry Macho. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So are you gonna watch it in this week?
Fuck yeah, I'm watching that. That's gonna be looking for them impressions for that shit.
All right. Cool. So next up is Prisoners of the Ghostland. So we got 2 movies that are pretty good.
And that's who I don't give 2 shits about.
We got a Nicolas Cage movie here. Prisoners of the Ghostland out in theaters this Friday on September 17th. In the treacherous frontier city of Samurai Town.
Samurai Town.
I'm sorry. Okay. A ruthless bank robber gets sprung from jail by a wealthy warlord whose adopted granddaughter has gone missing. He offers the prisoner his freedom in exchange for retrieving the runaway. Strapped into a leather suit that will self-destruct in 5 days, the bandit sets off on a journey to find the young woman and his own path to redemption. The film stars Nicolas Cage, Sophia Boutella, Bill Moseley, and Nick Cassavetes. Next up is Cop Shop, out in theaters this Friday. Screaming through the Nevada desert in a bullet-ridden car, wily con artist Teddy Moretto hatches a plan to hide from the lethal assassin Bob Vidic. He punches rookie officer Valerie Young to get himself arrested and locked up in a small-town police station. However, jail can't protect Moretto for long as Vidic schemes his own way into detention, bidding his time in a nearby cell until he can complete his mission. The film stars Gerard Butler, Frank Grillo, and Alexis Louder. And finally is Bestsellers, which is out in theaters this Friday. It says Lucy Stanbridge has inherited her father's publishing house, but the ambitious would-be editor has nearly sunk it with failing titles. She discovered she has owed a book by Harris Shaw, a reclusive, cantankerous, booze-addled author who originally put the company on the map decades earlier. In a last-ditch effort to save it, Lucy and Harris release his new book and embark on a tour from hell that changes them both in ways they didn't expect. We covered this trailer on a show that you missed when Dallas Man reacted to it. It says the film stars Michael Caine, Aubrey Plaza, Scott Speedman, and Carrie Elwes.
I like that cast though.
Yeah, Michael Caine is like the author that just hates himself, and you're like, all right, here's a manuscript, fuck off, and then they're like, no, you owe me a book tour. He's like, fuck, and he hates the book tour, and he's like fucking sabotaging everything at every step of the way.
And that Aubrey Plaza in there, her cute ass, yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty good. I didn't see any like new releases on streaming services, so I didn't see any new releases on Netflix.
Because that Tina Fey movie, that's Tammy Faye. That's a theatrical release exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Bet.
So I may end up fucking around and watch both of these movies in theaters this weekend. So, but yeah, like that's my pick of the week. I'm gonna stick with Cry Macho just simply because like I really liked the trailer. Granted, I watched that trailer after I watched the Eyes of Tammy Faye. There has been no marketing push for Tammy Faye, like
not really,
damn near at all.
Yeah, but I mean the only thing that they have going for it is that the trailer came out recently. So like
Cry Macho, yeah. Well,
for Tammy Faye.
Tammy Faye came out first. The trailer for Tammy Faye came out way first, like a long time ago.
Really? I thought it was recent when we reacted to that. I thought it was like 3 weeks ago or some shit. 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know.
I remember reacting to Tammy Faye's trailer first.
Yeah, we might have, but I think Cry Macho.
That trailer came out semi-recently.
But didn't Cry Macho have 2 trailers though? No, it only had 1.
Yeah.
Oh well, both of these might have been the same thing. Like they might have since the trailer just dropped. I think they're trying to just go ahead for that, that momentum off the trailer. But
I just hope that Cry Macho gets like an Oscar nod or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if it's good enough.
If it's good enough, yeah, obviously. But Tammy Faye is a shoo-in, by the way. Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and end the show. And again, I cannot play that sound effect on video. All right. It is time to end. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Ready Play Movies. Remember, you can reach the podcast by email at readyplaymovies@gmail.com or simply at readyplaymovies on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Chakalaka88 and Troy.
Bracy Troy 58.
Don't forget to subscribe, give us a review, and tell your friends about the show and all that good stuff. See you next time.